Keep it a whole 100.
Virtual credit support. Good, because I haven't been able to write anything for a long time.
Welcome to the Sunday Movie Marathon. Max.
I'm Chris.
I'm confused.
It's episode 100. Hooray! Normal things, normal results, all here at the Sunday Movie Marathon.
Yeah.
We made it, finally.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're officially good.
Why?
That's what they say, isn't it? Takes you 100 episodes to get good.
Well, we've already done 100 episodes, really, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done
We should
over
be
that. Yeah,
already
if
quite
you,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you
but
think
not
about
officially.
it. We're
Well,
technically
good at
probably
what? I
like
don't know.
105 if you count all the...
Probably more than
Yeah,
that.
like
extra ones,
105
yeah.
or something. Maybe even 106, perhaps.
And we're still no better.
No better than someone who's at 107. How have we all been?
Yeah, good. Been very busy the last few weeks, so this episode is later than we planned.
It's been hell.
Just
That's
like the
what
last
it's been.
episode. But I think we're getting to a good place now where got things in order.
Wrapped up all your murders.
Yeah.
Don't need to check on any of those bodies anymore. They're all settled in the ground where
That
they belong.
they are definitely
Don't need to
settled.
check on any of those writhing bags in the floor. Or
Not
in the
yet.
walls, wherever you've stored them in your new flat.
There's only so many places that you can put anything in this flat, to be honest. Excuse me, who just
fucking
piped up?
full of all the murdered bodies.
You murdered. For God's sake.
How are you doing, Max?
Sipping on some tea in a Danny DeVito mug. So I think it speaks for itself.
Living the high life.
Living the dream, living the normal things, normal results.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still buying my thing. I'm in
You're
that.
buying your thing.
I'm buying everyone like one Christmas present now because I got to try and beat the Royal Mail postal strikes, because obviously I've got to either lug everything back to Luton or I got to have it all here for when my family come here. We haven't decided. Christmas, when you don't live anywhere near your family, is a bit of a nightmare to sort out, to be honest. And with Royal Mail basically striking like every 4 days in November, so it's kind of fucked, basically.
Just like, don't go and see them.
I know. I think they're meant to be coming here.
Yeah, easy. Easy enough.
We think. We don't really know.
Just come here or not. I don't care. I'm not going to Luton.
I'm not going all the way to Luton.
That's ages away. They can drive. You can't.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, actually, it's more dependent on circumstances. Like if my sister has work Boxing Day, because she works in London, and I'm working Christmas Eve, and I live in Portsmouth. So it's a bit of a nightmare all round for everyone involved.
Are we all buying Christmas presents yet?
I'm literally bought them starting
Early
today.
November.
Yeah, I know. I like to try and have at least like 1 or 2 paydays before. So like last year, I think I had bought everything by November because I bought everything starting in September, and then did a couple pays and then kind of bought from there.
I got one thing for my mum so far.
Sometimes it's just easier, isn't it? I don't know.
I've got nothing.
Okay. He's got nothing. You heard it here first. I'm getting nothing and no one else is getting anything.
Even in presents.
Yeah, just nothing.
Oh, watch out for your microphone.
Do you know what? It's probably better off down here. It can't move any further, surely. I wonder if you heard that on the thing though, like it just screaming.
We all heard about the new Hercules movie they're going to make, influenced by TikTok.
What?
Can you?
You know, I heard about this.
Can you say that again,
Well,
please?
you know how Disney remake all their movies and make them cool and live action? They're doing Hercules, and it's going to be influenced by TikTok, they said. The Russo brothers said.
I need
Russo
that
brothers
one more
are making
time.
it.
Okay.
Hercules.
Who's
Little
playing
man who-
Hercules?
I
Yeah,
don't
who's
know.
do we know if
Frank
who's playing
Goldstein?
anyone?
That would be pretty sick to be fair.
Who?
No, he's Hercules in the Marvel MCU universe.
Oh, yeah.
This one, I don't know. Jordan Peele?
Probably Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt as Hercules?
I don't know what's even happening right now.
New Hercules.
Yeah, but they haven't announced. They've just announced it's happening.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah,
they've not.
we're doing
okay,
a
they
new
got
Hercules one,
And
said
then-
the Russo brothers, directors of such famous movies as
Yumi and Dupree.
You Mean Dupree.
Never seen
No,
it.
it's influenced
No.
by the TikTok generation.
That sounds like it's going to be like the worst thing.
He's going to be
Ever.
like an influencer, they said. You know, Hercules who lived in ancient Greece.
Okay.
Oh, as an influencer.
He's going to whip out his
yeah.
phone. Whoever's playing him, Chris Pratt's going to whip out his phone.
See, I would have
Hello,
said
TikTok. I'm on
Is
Mount
Hercules
Olympus.
here on Mount
Yeah.
Olympus?
I would have said The Rock, but he's already played him.
Yeah, he can't do it again.
I don't know. He shouldn't be an influencer either, should he? Really? As a demigod who doesn't have a phone? I don't understand how this is going to work. Is this just sort of like, what's it, Baz Luhrmann's fucking Romeo and Juliet? We're just going to modernise it or something.
Yeah, he's going to be an influencer.
It just sounds shit. It sounds fucking awful.
Well, we'll just see about that, won't we?
Oh, we probably that sounds like the Sunday Movie Marathon are going on a trip to see this new Hercules movie.
No, I don't want to see it. I just want to see other people see it.
Just want to see the trailer,
Yeah, sort of.
the poster.
It's like a found footage movie or something. It's like Cloverfield. I'm excited for it.
Greatly
It's
upsetting.
like one of the big movies that's coming out. It's going to be like Infinity War. if like Captain America had a smartphone and he like made TikToks throughout Infinity War, it's going to be like that Spider-Man movie. So that's news.
Nice.
I just feel like no one can see my face whenever I do whenever we record things, and I go, oh god, but I say it with my face, and it's just kind of it's like the cringe.
Really
face,
taking
and it's-
advantage of the
Yeah.
audio medium.
I think there's. I just don't think there's a noise to accurately
Yeah.
describe this feeling that I have currently.
How about
Whoa! Do you know what? That's probably the closest to it, actually, but more of a disgusted kind of noise. It's we can use that.
Yeah, at one point we considered like filming this episode, but
Oh yeah, I
I
forgot
don't
about
think it
that.
logistically worked.
Why not? You put it like right there.
I think
No,
we
it's
could have
more
done it.
just
It
with
wouldn't look
our
terrible.
equipment.
Oh yeah, I suppose so.
Huh?
What do you mean? You just put like an iPhone there and
Yeah, like tripod
let
it. Yeah,
Nah, it would have looked like shit.
it would have looked like shit anyway. Look at our setup right now. We literally got
Yeah, we don't have
we
like a
got
professional camera
wires
or anything.
everywhere. We're sitting at a
Yeah.
dinner
Yeah.
table that we got for 50 quid. Like this, we're
We'll
we're not
save it for
professionals.
episode 200.
Yeah, that's when we'll be at the big bucks, finally making money from this podcast.
Finally sponsored by League of Legends.
Sponsored
or
by Hercules.
Shadow-
Sponsored by the Russo brothers, Hercules TikTok edition.
Honestly, it sounds like dog shit.
Yeah, they're all bad.
Once again, made the face. The
Well,
face
yeah,
is.
they're all bad. What was that one we watched? Cruella. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like that's going to be worse than Cruella. I think from the sounds of it. I mean, I obviously
As
don't know.
bad
for
as
sure.
Pinocchio, though.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Ooh, maybe.
As cool as Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, coming out soon to
Oh, yeah.
a television near you.
Oh, was it just getting dumped on streaming
It's
services?
in
Netflix.
Netflix, isn't it?
Okay. Sure.
That's all we're getting for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Everybody's like pushing their movies back.
I don't know, I feel like the last 2 months has been like a movie graveyard here in the UK. It's been like,
Hello, darling.
it's been a bit
We
shit,
got that,
really.
and we got
Like I said,
like,
Hello,
that's it.
Darling. That's just not
we
the
got
name
Hello,
of the movie.
darling, and
Got
some new rock
handful
movie,
of them.
and then like one movie we watched the other day.
Yeah, what I mean is that it's like I feel like there's not been like a steady stream of movies. You go on like the View website or whatever, and it's like it's been the same thing for about 2
Well,
months.
They're all on streaming,
Yeah, it's.
which I fucking hate.
I do kind of loathe it a little bit. It's not.
I'm sick of it now. I'm actually sick of it.
I'm still wondering. Like, we had this conversation, and I'm opening it up to the people that do or don't listen to this. And me and Chris were asking because Max was like, how was streaming a viable option? And I was like, do they not pay the people to put their movie on the streaming services? And then Chris was trying to explain to me about how they pay the companies like a sum of money. Yeah, this is what I'm getting
But they
at.
put it
And
on
like,
Roku, which is a free streaming service.
yeah, and how do they make money off of it?
But you can only watch if you've got a Roku box or stick. So you actually have to own their device. It's not like you can just go on like Roku.com.
You can't even get like an
I
app.
thought
on your
Roku
TV.
was a gym near me.
I think that's Rocco.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I used to know people that went there when I worked at Nike back in the day, and they were like, "It's the best gym ever."
But yeah, I'm annoyed with it.
I just don't understand.
I
they make
don't
money.
want to have these. I mean, really, I only pay for one of them because most of them I'm using my dad's account. You know,
And us
I
with
don't
Chris,
need
to be
pay
fair.
for. I don't want to pay for fucking Netflix and Disney Plus and fucking Amazon
getting
Prime,
a
which
bit
is
much,
also
isn't it?
Chris's Now TV and Apple TV Plus and fucking whatever the fuck else we need to
There's so
catch
many.
up on all the new hot goss.
But the thing is, there's so many,
I'm
and
bored of it.
all of them. So, like, the problem I think is that you get all of them, right? Because we have most of them. Let's be honest. And you only want to watch like bits and pieces from each one, but they're not worth the money because you only want to watch like one show from one, 2 films from another.
And I think it's all it's done is just increase piracy. Like when
who could be
streaming
arsed
came
for
out,
this?
it did like the complete opposite, you know. All these companies were jumping on like Netflix and stuff, putting all their stuff on there, and piracy I think went down a lot because it was suddenly like all this content was in this really easy to like access place. It was like easy to scroll through and watch it. It was only like a tiny bit of like a month you pay for it. For a lot of people, it was just like, yeah, it's convenient. But now it's gotten to the point where like torrenting and like
No, it's
going to like 1, 2,
It is really
3
inconvenient.
movies or whatever it's called.
Yeah, because you
Like,
can just
Websites like that
type
are more
in
convenient.
a movie that you want to see, and you don't have to go, oh, what bloody streaming service is it on? And then
Yeah,
you're
you
like,
go back
oh,
to the
I don't
golden
have
age
this
where you
one.
just type in the movie name, watch
Yeah.
online, and then
Yeah.
you have it.
And that's you don't have to think about where it is. You don't have to pay £6 or get a free trial. Like, do you know how many like emails and like spam and shit? It's not even worth it anymore. Like, half of these streaming services are just garbage. Like, I got Apple TV free for 3 months, right? When you buy the iPhone, right? And I was like, okay, I'll buy it. It's free, whatever. And I went on there and I was like, there is fuck all I want to watch on here.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Wolfwalkers, didn't I?
Yeah.
And that was it. I
Cancelled immediately afterwards.
literally afterwards, I watched Josh Gad. He did a TV show. It's like Bob's Burgers, but nowhere near as good.
Yeah.
Is it called Central Park? I think it's called.
Something like that.
It's
There's
not
a great
good.
Beastie Boys documentary on there.
Yeah. Like,
That's
I just,
something.
So that's 2 things.
There's 2 good things on there.
Like-
I've heard Severance and Ted Lasso are good. I want to watch
Yeah, I
them
want to watch Ted
before
Lasso, but I don't
Darcy
want to
gets rid of
get
it.
Apple
I only
TV.
have it for a month longer. So if you guys want to watch it, you're gonna have to come over
Yeah.
and just
Yeah, might as well.
utilize this. I think I have it till like the 13th of next month or something. But this is the thing. Like, I wouldn't pay for this. I wouldn't pay for any streaming service if I'm totally honest, because they're all garbage. I mean, I hate to give it to the Disney corporate overlord, but they are the only one that has anything on it that I want to
Yeah.
watch.
I feel like Disney Plus, like in terms
It's the
of
best
content,
one.
is the best one now.
And I hate to say it because I hate them with all of
Amazon
my
Prime's
being.
probably
I wonder
like
why.
a
It's because they
second.
fucking bought everything.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why it's the best one, because they bought all the corporations.
They already had
Yeah.
a huge library of content, and then they brought Fox, so now they've got an even bigger
Yeah.
amount. Prime's all right. Prime, I think, has a decent amount on it.
Prime, I used to love Prime. I've got a little bit of a love-hate relationship with Prime because there'll be times where they'll have something great on it and then they'll get rid of it after like 4 months or something. You think, oh, here we go. And then it's the cycle continues.
Their turnaround of films like going on and coming off is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
Because a lot of the time the film will just go back on like a couple months later anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, they do have some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
If you can catch it in time to watch it, and then it's gone again.
Yeah,
Their
sorry, I was
interface
away
is
for a
still
week. I didn't
awful.
have time. It's gone.
Yeah, that's the problem with
Yeah.
it. But otherwise, yeah,
Their interface is pretty
good.
awful as well. It's better than it was,
It's-
but
it's
it's
a bit
still
janky,
really
isn't it?
janky.
Yeah.
It seems really outdated.
This
And
is
that's
what
like a big
movies
thing
are
with
now,
him.
though. This is what movies and TV is. You
Mm.
have to be there at the right time, the right place. You pay, £100 for
Yeah.
all the combined subscription services, and make sure you're like sat down in the right sort of time on the right seat.
Yeah, but we know who the worst offender is. Now TV, they're the worst
Yeah.
offender. You pay for a service and you still have to watch an advert.
Bullshit.
Are you
You have to pay
joking?
extra for HD.
Yep. Jinx.
That is the worst offender in my opinion.
Now TV sucks. Dong.
It's just the thing is the
really
stuff, like,
expensive as well.
oh, it's
Yeah.
just it's not good. The thing is the
They're-
stuff in there's okay, but it's not
No.
worth the.
They've got a
the
lot
shit.
of like the big Warner Brothers stuff, which like I think once like HBO Max comes out here in a couple of years, once their like Warner Brothers deal ends, I feel like Now TV is just gonna die.
Of
course
gonna-
it is.
It's gonna have nothing there.
We are,
Yeah.
I swear we were only watching it to watch what was it, Succession
Yeah,
and
the only
House
time
of the
I get
Dragon. That
only
was it
time
really.
I get it is to watch like the HBO shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only way to watch
so
it
when they're
here.
gone,
You got
that's
that. You
it.
got the Oscars, which happens once a year.
Oh, what is the
Just get
Oscars?
a
Oh yeah, the
free
Oscars
trial,
are
free
on there,
trial.
aren't they?
Once a year for it.
Oh wow, we can have an Oscars watching party here.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
just like
Actually,
last
I'd
year.
probably-
Yeah, just like last year, like we tried to do last year.
Or this year when Max got COVID, so we couldn't do it.
And
yeah.
we couldn't.
Oh yeah. That
and we
was
couldn't
then.
log on or something. I can't remember what
Something like
happened.
that. I don't know.
We got frozen out of it or something, and Chris
You
went,
got
"It's
frozen
like
out
10
of your
o'clock.
account,
Going to
and then
bed."
Chris was like, "I give up," and I was like, "You just use my account." But then at that point, he was like asleep, and it took him like 2 minutes to fall asleep.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
because
was.
I've been drinking.
I was still awake as well. I was like sitting up, like, oh, I could just watch it, but I was trying not to wake Chris up at the same time. So it was just like this awkward, like, oh, I could watch the drama, but also it's like 3 o'clock in the morning now. Do I just go to sleep? What a waste of time that was.
Yeah, and it wasn't even very good,
Yeah.
especially not alone while being diseased.
No, I did enjoy the messages waking up to of just like these what look like
Oh, yeah.
fever dream videos of you just recording your TV.
Look at that. What's Beyonce wearing? Why is she on a tennis court?
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
pretty fun.
insane.
Like I say, the Oscars is something you need to be in like a group for and get really drunk.
Yeah, I'm not really into the Oscars, to be honest. I just thought maybe it would be like worth a watch, but it doesn't seem like it's really
You
worth.
didn't want to be there when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock around the face. You want to be in like a big like congregation of people go, "Way!"
I mean, I bet that would have been quite the talking point of the night, but I was fine with the TikToks that I woke up to in the morning of just people memeing the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Whoa, look, it's that zebra from Madagascar and that other guy from that other thing.
Yeah, and Oscar the Shark Slayer.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that's it. That's all we've got. That's all they've got on Now TV for £25 a month.
Yeah, it's just-
HD subscription.
Honestly, the worst offenders.
Why do I still have it? I need to stop. I don't
Well, you
even
can
want
stop
it.
it
I don't
now.
even want it.
Mm.
Well, what do I use it
We
for?
finished House of the Dragon, yeah.
I just want to buy that. Why can't I buy it? Why can't I just buy it and then watch
You
it?
can buy
You
it
can.
now.
It's coming out soon.
Yeah, soon. Soon.
When is soon?
That's what I mean. Like,
I think in a few weeks'
release
time.
it when it's like out or like whatever.
Mm.
Just release it. I don't know.
I was literally on the HMV website today and I couldn't even remember when it was supposed to come
It
out.
annoys me.
Might have a shaky that.
Just like if you have to do it week by week, do it week by week, and then release it on physical the
What, like,
day that
immediately
last
after?
episode comes out. The day it comes out, and then just people can buy it and then own it. You can't just own things anymore. You're not allowed to own things. It's all subscription based and it's all in the digital cloud. You're not allowed to have anything physical anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't come out for ages.
If you want anything physical, you're a fucking weirdo.
I think that they're trying to cash in on that Christmas rush because it comes out on the 19th of December. They're like,
Oh, yeah, I'm
get
gonna
this
be there,
for
baby.
Christmas
Yeah.
Day, baby.
I'm
So
gonna be
basically,
there.
no one's getting it for Christmas because it's too
'cause
soon.
Yeah.
It's too close to Christmas.
Well, this is the 4K. I don't know if they all come out on the same day.
yeah, it
or
will
not.
do.
No one's gonna want it for Christmas. They've already seen it.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're like.
do you want?
You'll
do you
forget
think,
it by
do you
then.
think most people are going to be like, who watched House of the Dragon? They're going to be like, oh yeah, it's also on 4K or fucking Blu-ray. I'll get that. Of course not.
Well, to be fair,
Because they can just
the
be like, well, I've got
standard-
the Now TV subscription. I can just watch it again.
But then the standard DVD's £25, so that's like the
It's a
same
season
as
of
just
television.
cancelling your Now TV, right? And you get it forever. This is your copy, but this is the standard, not the Blu-rays or anything. I mean, the Blu-ray's only like £4 more actually, so you may as well just splurge out for the Blu-ray.
Just give up. You're not allowed to have things anymore. They're all owned by streaming services. You can't have them. They can offer them to you for a limited amount of time. You can consume them for a little bit, but you aren't allowed to like have them.
I mean, you can, but apparently you just got to wait a while for them.
No, I mean like that's a very popular show. Of course, it's going to come out on physical, but then like
Oh, you mean like other
a
other
bunch
stuff?
of shit
Yeah.
that you just can't get. You can't get it. It's out in the ether.
But you
And then,
can't.
like,
You
suddenly
can't have
we're
it.
like, people don't care about this show anymore. Take it off of fucking Amazon Prime or whatever, and then nobody ever sees it ever again. You can't even get it on like a disc, unless you're like there at the time to hook some sort of device up to your TV to burn it onto a disc.
Or you torrent it onto a disc, of course.
That's why I feel like torrenting's a good thing.
Torrenting is good.
It's
Keep
good
torrenting.
for preservation. Because like, as soon as it doesn't get a physical release and they take it off a streaming service,
It's gone,
that could
innit?
be
Yeah.
it gone. Like, it's basically lost media at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I always kind of salute the people that are, they just make like YouTube accounts and stuff, just re-uploading things because they're like, well, because it's like a region stuff as well. You'll go and you can't watch something from somewhere, so then some hero on YouTube's like, I got you. I hooked this up to my television. Here you go. But I just think it's crazy. I get it, but it's crazy. One
I don't get
day,
it.
the internet will be dead, and we'll have nothing left.
I feel like this happened in like 5 years. I feel like it wasn't
all
like,
this
it wasn't
streaming
like
stuff.
this 5 years ago. Maybe even it wasn't like this 3 years ago. I don't know.
I can't.
Not to this extent.
I
Yeah,
can't,
it
I can't
was, but it
remember.
wasn't as bad.
Really? Yeah, no, I feel like I remember like the age of like Netflix beginning, if that makes sense. Like where that one was like the only
Where
streaming
they would
service,
send
basically.
you a disc in the mail.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? We were laughing, but I was telling Chris the other day about how my sister still has one of those Love Film cleaning cases, like in the house somewhere. It's like, I don't know, it's like an antique of time or something.
Yeah, and that was just the other day.
Yeah, it's just
Felt like that
hilarious.
happened like the other day.
Yeah.
All
We're
this shit
getting
is
old.
going too quickly, man. But it's going to die just as quick, maybe. Because everyone's going to get to the point where they think, fucking hell, how many
Soon
subscriptions?
you won't even fucking be able to watch movies at all.
Yeah, I pay £90 for 5 subscriptions. What's going on?
They'll like, you'll have to like download like the equivalent of a pill into your brain, and then like they'll flash the new Marvel movie into your like cornea at like fucking 1,000,000 times speed, and like, you'll just have watched it within half a second. You're like, whoa, fucking Brett Goldstein is Hercules, wow.
Oh my god. Max needs to call up the Black Mirror writers and get this made instantly.
I feel like they already did it.
They basically did. They did. We were talking about it the other day, weren't we? That guy who did a movie and wrote that episode that was basically the same fucking thing that you just said.
But these fucking streaming services, they watch Black Mirror and they go, we could do that. It's like, no, these are cautionary tales.
Yeah, do you
Stop
not? Yeah, do
fucking
you
with
not know what you're
technology like that.
watching?
Yeah, no. They're like, that's an interesting idea. We should do that. Just, Mickey, get on it. And Mickey's like, oh, okay, I've got it.
Did really, Mickey Mouse is some sort of like overlord.
He was there with
cunner.
fucking like the headset on, with the fucking VR headset. And
He is
like,
literally that
fucking
parody of
typing
South
away.
Park, isn't he?
Coding the next pill.
Coding the next
Coding
pill
the
to
next
put in your
Marvel
brain.
movie. I think this one's going to make $1 billion, guys.
Oh my god. It needs to
We got the
stop.
new Avatar movie coming out right now.
Mate, but no Avatar can get in the bin. I don't even care.
New Avatar, it's coming.
I can't believe there's basically been like a whole generation of kids since like the Avatar movie last
it's
was
been
a thing.
so long now that like the nostalgia train's now there for Avatar.
Yeah.
Like people are going to see this one nostalgic because they watched the first one when it came out as a kid.
It's awful. How did we get so old? What happened?
It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't even that long ago.
I don't like it. I just don't like
But
it.
for
at all.
some people, that's like basically most of their life.
No, that is
Yeah, I
yeah,
suppose so.
that is true depending on who you ask.
The Gen Zers. Gen
The
Zers.
Gen Zers.
Whatever they are.
That
Whatever we are.
we're
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
well, we're supposedly Manila.
Yeah, one
Mel-
of those.
The you know that one
The M
that I
ones.
can't pronounce.
The M word.
Yeah, that one. We're technically those, but depending on who you ask, you guys would be in it. But if you ask someone else, you guys wouldn't be in it.
It depends. If
So
you
apparently
can,
it's
the only
yeah.
like factor you have or question you have to ask yourself is: are you nostalgic for James Cameron's The Avatar?
Oh,
If the
that's how
answer
it
is
works.
no-
That's how it works. Yeah,
Probably not Gen Z.
yeah.
Probably one of those millennials.
Yeah.
See, I can't even pronounce it. But yeah, like the years are different, like depending on who you ask. So like, I technically would fall into it, but then there's like a category where I wouldn't fall into it, and then there's a category where you guys would fall into it. But apparently, you guys are also not in it. So yeah, it depends on who you ask and what year it is. But it's very stupid, very strange.
I just don't like really defining myself by any sort of, border or barrier. I don't put myself in a box. I'm just me. I'm just Max.
No, I mean, I don't think it really matters, to be honest, like what generation you come from, but you could definitely tell the youth of today from the not youth of today, I feel like.
I just don't identify with those labels, I'm afraid.
The label of millennium.
Whatever they're calling it these days, I
I
don't really...
literally cannot pronounce it.
just don't
at all.
identify with it. Don't really feel like it's me.
No, I think it's really weird, like when you, well, obviously I see most of this stuff like on TikTok as well, where people be like, oh, I'm part of like Gen X or the one that came out before the other one, but like isn't part of the boomers.
Alpha Cron 7.5.
I think they're all named really stupidly. I think they all don't make any sense.
Next one's just going to be like a stream of sound.
Yeah.
It'd be like the sound of a printer.
What generation are you from?
What's this one? As the monkey fucking types it up on its shitty little typewriter. This one's oh, okay. I'm part of that one now. I'll get them fucking printed on us. Like, oh, it's like a barcode.
Yeah, it's rancid.
Cool.
I don't even know.
Streaming's dying, I hope. Or is it better than ever? Who's to say?
Bit of both.
Bit of both.
I would say it's a bit of both.
Just let me buy things, please. Physically. I'm a physical man.
I would also, like, I'm just looking behind me, and I just don't understand. Well, I mean, I do understand it now that we've had this conversation of it might not exist out in
Physical
the
media?
ether. Yeah. Well,
What are
more
you talking
like
about?
this stuff would exist.
What are you talking about?
The DVD of Batman Returns.
Yeah,
Batman
this one
Returns wouldn't exist.
specifically.
Chris got a thing recently. It's called a shelving unit to shelve all his DVDs and Blu-rays. Unfortunately, he didn't check he ordered it online, so the dimensions were wrong, and now he has to put his DVDs and Blu-rays like horizontally,
So
like a crate. Like
so
a
when he
creep.
built this, I said to him, I'm 100% sure this is for CDs, because look at the cubing. I was like, this is for CDs, right? He was like, no, they had DVDs on it. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he puts them in, and he can only fit like 5 of them across here. And I was like, you're not going to fit all of this on here. He empties 2 boxes, and it looks like shit. And I was like, Chris, you're just going to have to turn them sideways. And Sure, they still look like shit, but they all fit in here now. At least.
You say that, I had to use the other bookcase we got over there. Had to take everything that was on there off there to fit the others in there.
And I was like, Chris, you can't get any more DVDs now. Where's he going to fucking put them? He was like, I can't get another bookcase, I can't afford it. And I'm like, well, then you're just going to have to stop buying shit, ain't we? Because, no!
I'll get another bookcase eventually.
Do you know what
Then the new buying begins.
Yeah, do you know what? My mum actually had a go at me the other day. I told her about how my laptop broke and I bought another one, right? And I was like, okay, all my savings are gone, right? She goes, you guys just bought too much for your flat. I told you not to buy so much stuff for your flat because you're going to have to haul it out of here in a year's time. And then when he was talking about this another bookcase, I thought, oh God, we're going to have to haul 3 bookcases out of this flat one day. And I'm not keen on that at all.
Well, what are you going to do? Just not buy things for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, just have nothing in here.
She thought I just bought too much.
Just sit on the floor. Don't watch TV because I don't have a TV. Just stare at the wall. Count how many lines there are.
I don't know what she was
Tell him,
actually...
Chris. Tell him how it is.
I don't know what
He's mad.
I don't know what she was actually referring to, whether she meant because I bought myself a scallop chair or because...
You just didn't need to do that, did you, Darcy?
Apparently not.
What are you going to do? Have fucking more than 3 people here at a time? You're insane.
I know. Maybe we bought too many tables. We didn't even buy any tables. These are ones that were donated to us.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, apparently I bought too much stuff.
This generation was founded on stuff. Or they're the stuff kind of generation. They only don't understand it or like it because they didn't have stuff back in fucking 1960. At the time of the fucking plague. 3.0.
Joe, it's not far off. She was born in 66, I believe.
Yeah, there we go. Talking about fucking not getting too much. No such thing.
I should have asked her. I should have asked her what she meant. I'd have been like, what? Is it because I bought a new bed? Is it because I bought a sofa? Was it too expensive? Is it because I bought it new and not used? I don't know. Please tell me what I did wrong.
Things.
Tell me what I did wrong.
What am I going to do? Fucking put my used sofa from fucking 3 generations ago in my pyramid with me when I fucking die? I don't think so. I want my brand new sofa with me in my pyramid when I'm dead. Thanks. Not allowed nice things.
I mean, I actually love this sofa. Like, at first I was like, no, I don't want to buy a sofa new.
Yeah, it's a good sofa.
Yeah.
Get out of here, mums. Think you own a fucking world because you... Fuck you. Can't have anything nice. Everything fucking nice. Every fucking decision you make is fucking scrutinised like a fucking magnifying glass. Get out of here, mums.
No, I know what
Get
it
out
is.
of here, mum's net.
She saw that Stitch pen holder over there and she was like, you did not need to buy that Stitch pen holder. You did not need this Stitch cushion. You did not need this thing.
You should have been like, shut up, mum, you didn't need to have me. You want to have a kid? They're going to buy stuff eventually. How about that? If you don't like it, don't fucking have a kid. I can't take it if they eventually buy stuff.
To be fair, I actually think a lot of this stuff wasn't even here when they came and helped us move in. I can't remember.
If they come around for Christmas and be like, look how much fucking more stuff. You're insane. What's that plant? What is it? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Not even buy the plant. Who bought the plant?
Who bought the plant? Fucking track him down and kill him. There's not enough oxygen in here for us and a plant.
Oh my God. That's part of why we need plants in here. There's no windows. We need more breathing air.
Chris and Darcy live in a place with no windows and 1 plant. It provides all their oxygen for them.
I was going to say...
As they recycle fucking carbon dioxide into each other's lungs.
We have 2 plants. And the rest are fake.
Got 2 plants, the rest of them are fake, and 1 painting.
It's a great painting. But no one else can see the painting. I think when Chris is editing this, he should put a photo up of this painting.
Oh, I won't remember that.
No, he won't remember it.
Well...
I'll put it in the thumbnail.
You should put it in the thumbnail. Like, right in the middle. Just like... You know, like that Krabby Patty video where it's like... Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Just have the pictures of the shit behind it and the painting in the middle.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Should we talk about some movies?
Yeah. Let's
I
do
forgot,
that.
I
Quite a
forgot what we
few.
were talking about. How long? I don't know how long we've been going.
No,
with this.
probably like 2 hours.
Well, already.
Oh
You
my
okay?
god, this is gonna be like
Just
the
talking about plants and generations.
this is gonna be the bumper episode. You just watch people
Bumper
like stop
episode.
about halfway through because they go fucking hell.
5 hour long episode 100.
Where does this start?
If it had to be a one episode, it's going to be this one. It's going to be the long one.
Yeah, this one's gonna be hell for Chris to edit. Like, look at his. Oh my god, look at his face right now.
Nah, he's
He's
just
like
going to
that.
fucking stick a noise gate on it and call it a day.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Just cut off the
Yeah.
top and tail and just fucking upload it. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Upload like a
Episode
stupid
100
voice
here.
clip or something.
Listen
yeah.
to it. Watch some new movies.
Yeah. So what one do we want to? What one's we
Should
talking
do
about?
Hellraiser first because it's the freshier in our minds, and we watched it on a television screen.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Was dumped.
Dumped on
Yeah, what
Disney
was it?
Plus,
No,
but not yet.
I don't think it's even going to go on Disney Plus.
No, you.
Well, they said they were going to though.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it actually is
we,
going on there.
We what we got it by cheeky means.
Hellraiser, directed by David Bruckner. We torrented it and we watched it illegally. We didn't pay any money for it and we watched it at home. Thanks, David. If you want us to buy your movie, let us buy your movie.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to
I don't
torrent
think
it.
it's down to him. I think it's down to the studio.
No, it's definitely not.
Oh,
down
you
to
can't
him.
even rent it.
I think you can now, but it literally, it literally just came out being able to rent in the UK, but there was like no announcement it was going to come out like that. It just happened. I just happened to stumble on the fact that it was out here now.
Yeah, what do you want, Hulu? Fuck off.
Hulu.
Yeah, it's a
Fucking
Hulu
hell.
original in America.
Oh.
I think everyone's saying, oh, it's probably going to be Disney Plus because, like, I think it's owned by Disney and all the Hulu originals go to Disney Plus.
I laugh because that is literally on point, isn't it? It's like, oh, it's owned by Disney. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, just shove it on.
You say,
fucking Disney
it's
Plus,
probably owned by Disney. You're probably going to be right
Yeah,
half the time.
90% of the time, probably. Yeah.
David Bruckner,
Yeah.
director of such movies as The Ritual and The Night House, has made a Hellraiser remake in the year 2022.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Hellraiser.
It's
If you've seen Hellraiser, it's about those guys, the Cenobites, and they're like, steal your soul, and then or something. And you know, there's a box, and there's some people who go, that box is weird. It's like a puzzle box, and when you touch the box, it gives you a stab, and it drinks your blood, and then these fucking demons come after you.
So how
Seeing Hellraiser, you kind of know how it goes.
Yeah, how similar is it to the original?
Oh, not
in
even
terms
slightly
of not even
similar.
the story. Like, well,
No, a completely different story. Literally, the only similarities is the box and the Cenobites.
okay.
Like all the
Yeah, I was
all
gonna
the
say Pinhead
lore
looks
about
similar.
like the different configurations about the box and like the final configuration where you get a meeting with God. That's all from the sequel, the second movie, Hellbound.
Right, okay. Because I know you guys watched Hellraiser like last year or something, and I had come
Yeah.
in like towards the end part of it, so I missed quite a lot of it. But that's why I was just asking, because I just thought, is this, you know, because some of
Yeah.
them are like make remakes, but I'm guessing this is.
I've seen like all 10 of the Hellraiser movies.
There
10,
are how
11.
many movies?
Most of them are like, they had a horror script and they were like, fuck it, should we make this a Hellraiser movie? So they just put the Cenobites in there just randomly at one point. Like,
cool.
I think that's the film Inferno, directed by Scott Derrickson, which is just like a Seven rip-off. And then in the last 10 minutes, the Cenobites just show up.
Oh, I've got to watch that. That sounds great.
Seven is
Scott
great,
Derrickson,
but
you want?
I
Yeah,
d-
why not? I'll watch that.
Yeah, it's not the worst one.
Yeah.
What? I just want to understand the logic behind that. That's all. But I think we getting back to the movie itself.
Yeah, that Clive Barker one, really fucking solid, good movie.
Yeah,
really
I love it.
entertaining, very funny and creepy and like camp. That's like all situated in one house, I think. This one, they go everywhere and they're driving around and fucking, they're after us, run away. And it's all about them trying to
Yeah, it's
get
pretty manic.
this girl's brother back or like figure out what's going on. I guess it's like a mystery movie and she's like a detective. Even though,
Isn't he that geezer from 13 Reasons Why? The guy who's the brother?
Probably.
I didn't
don't-
watch that.
No, I didn't either. But we watched your movies. Oh, maybe I did actually, or did I? I watched someone's review on it.
IHE.
I think
He
your
did
movie
pretty
sucks did one,
in-depth
and I'm pretty
reviews.
sure I watched it.
Maybe. I don't know.
And I know we watched something, and then you skipped it because I said, "Oh, don't you want to watch this?" Oh no, that was for a different movie. Let me look it up. What's his name? Matt. Yeah, Brandon Flynn. Yeah, he is. He is.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad we established that.
Yeah, because everyone was talking about how like the acting isn't like amazing, and apparently his is like the worst. But he's not even in it that much, so you can kind
The
of
brother.
yeah, you can just kind of get over that.
Yeah, he
bit.
wasn't very good.
Well, he ain't in it much, so you don't have to worry about
Yeah,
that.
That's true.
that's basically it. He's just kind of there for plot, really, more than anything else.
He's there to be gay and die.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the main girl doesn't even have a bio on Letterboxd.
No, I think she's only been in a couple things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most
And she
people
was
at
good
least
in
have a
it.
sentence. I don't even know when she was born. She's just she just
need
has
to
an
know.
You
age.
don't need to know. You just need to know she's in Hellraiser and she's the main character
Yeah.
and she does a decent job.
Yeah.
This is a fine movie. I really like David Bruckner. I think I've only seen The Ritual and The Night House, but I think they were very good movies and I would recommend them.
Yeah.
Very like smaller movies. This one's like really fucking going for it. It's like they poured like a lot of money into this.
Yeah, I was
you
gonna say
can
this
tell.
one feels like
Very
it had
high
a lot of
budget.
money. Yeah.
They're trying to make it like epic. I was like, oh, Hellraiser movie that's like epic. I don't know how to feel about that, but I've only
Yeah.
watched the first one.
The second one kind of is very similar in terms
Yeah.
of like the scope.
Uh-huh.
I do like that its alternative name is Hellraiser 11. They're like, yep,
Yeah.
Hellraiser 11.
The new one.
Fair
They've all
enough.
got to like come out and be like, this one's like different, or like we're remaking this. Let's call it Halloween. Or we're remaking this. Let's call it fucking Scream.
Five
It's just
Cream.
like, yeah, it's just that again. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, that's that. This is whatever, man. I was looking forward to this. I really was. I was like, oh, David Bruckner doing Hellraiser, and it looked weird, looked freaky. From what I'd seen, like some of the stills and the promotional images, I was like, that would be interesting. See people going off because there's like a trans woman in it. Like, oh, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, okay, I gotta see this one then. But fucking like, what is it? 2 hours or some bullshit?
It is really
Oh,
long.
my
Yeah, what's
God.
this? 121 whole minutes.
Didn't need to be
Yeah,
that
it doesn't
long.
need to be this long.
It's just like you're just watching like a bunch of the girl just trying to figure some bullshit out. You know what happened?
Yeah, like a lot. Yeah, a lot of it is literally just her going, "Oh man, look, this box is doing that thing again."
Yeah, it's very different to the original. The original, like, I feel like the whole point of it is it's like very, very sexual. The whole thing is kind of about this like sordid affair between like this woman and her husband's brother. And like it is a very, very sexually charged movie, whereas
Yeah.
this it's not at all. It
Hey, there
takes
was
that
some
away.
sex in this
And
movie.
it's kind of like it's all about like addiction and stuff instead. And I didn't even have a big issue with that. It just went on too long.
It was. It was.
The third act
Yeah.
especially just felt like 2 hours long. Just kept Actually, I don't even know if I'd say the third act, maybe more the second act. Like when they get to this mansion, like where there's like all this like gating and shit. And it's where like there's this guy who is trying to like get the Cenobites there for some reason because he wants like an audience with God or something.
Yeah.
That stuff was just really boring and bland to me. I just didn't care.
Yeah, because who's this guy? Like, who cares? Who's
Yeah.
this one dude who's like, I've been feeding people to the Cenobites for years or whatever, and he's like, and then they put like a fucking golden typewriter through my chest, and now I have to live forever or something. It's like,
Yeah, I
who
mean
are
that was
you,
pretty
bruv?
cool.
Yeah, it was all right, but it was like,
It's
who
like
the hell
pulling
are
his
you?
like veins through
Yeah.
its machinery. It's just pretty sick.
The constant torture device, that was awesome. There's awesome stuff in this movie. I'm not gonna lie, they do a lot of really cool stuff and like really interesting imagery and all that. It's just like, I don't care about the story. I don't care about, well, it's pretty well acted, but I don't really care when people die all that
No.
much. It's just like watching them being ticked off. I guess the fun is in how they die, or like
It's
in that
quite
original
creative,
movie,
isn't
they're
it?
like the Cenobites are like these demons who like they love pain. Like they're like Chris said, it was a sexually charged movie. It was like they're getting horny over pain, and in this, it's like it's kind of like that, sort of. But they don't like address that or like be like, yeah, these guys love pain, and they're just like that's how they get that pleasure. But it's just like they're demons and they kill and they torture people.
Yeah, like they seem
And
happy
that's
about
it,
it, but
like,
not
that's-
horny
that's
about
it,
it. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, and that's kind of what the sequels kind of became. It got rid of like the sadomasochistic, like erotic angle to it, and it just became just all about. It's like just basically became like a slasher franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Like these demons who are there because they like killing people, and I think that's where the franchise kind of loses its steam, loses anything interesting about it. So I didn't really like that they kind of brought that over to this one.
It is kind of
Yeah.
weird how it's. I don't know. It's like they're happy about all this like pain and stuff, but then they're also like, yeah, this is like a very toned down movie, but it's like not at the same time. It's confusing. I can't explain. Like it's really violent and it's really gross, but it's also like really almost like PG in how like people
Yeah.
interact with each other.
I
Like
think
it's complicated.
compared to the original, it feels very sanitized.
It's weird.
Because
I don't
like in that
understand
original, like the weird and fucked up shit comes from like how they enjoy inflicting pain upon people and like how that's their like kink or whatever.
Yeah.
And it comes from like
Yeah.
the sexual nature of it. In this, it's like it's just a slasher, really, and they
Yeah.
kill people because they're evil.
Yeah, they
And
just seem
there's no
happy about
reason
it.
to it. They're just like, haha, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna make you feel pain like you don't even believe.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I would like to see how that affects like the demons, or I suppose, or like the Cenobites, and you don't really see how it does, or like why they do it. You just know that like these guys look fucked up, so they're weird and evil.
It's like, oh, they smile sometimes when people bleed. Cool. And then that's it. That's just kind of it, really. Like, cool, I guess. I mean, they look kind of cool, though. I'm not going to lie.
I do
Like,
really like the designs of the Cenobites
especially
in
the
it.
chatty teeth one. He's fucking creepy.
Yeah, really good design on them. Must be like a lot of practical work that went into like the makeup and all that. They all look really good, and that's probably where the movie is like best, is like in the makeup and like the how they like show the violence, I suppose, or like there's that guy being torn apart at the end. And it's
Oh, yeah,
like,
that
wow,
was
that's
cool.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Or like that, when that guy who had like the torture device inside his chest, it like got ripped out, and then like it
Regenerated.
showed him
yeah.
his body like regenerating, like
Yeah, that
fucking
was sick.
Wolverine. And it's like the visual effects were like, oh my, that's awesome, that's so cool. It's like nothing I'd really seen before, or like if you see like movies that show people regenerating their body tissue in a way, it's never really been done like that, I don't think. So that was very interesting. I just think that probably where it takes a dive is like, it doesn't need to be that long, and I don't care about the mystery because I know what's happening, sort of. Or like when people get taken, I'm like, and they get taken, and they're going to be tortured forever in all eternity, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
but why? I don't think it really matters. Oh, what is it like?
Oh, what? Because it's
She's
like,
like, I gotta get my
why?
brother back, and it's
Yeah.
like, he is dead though, like straight up.
Yeah.
He got fucking like shot through the body with like a bunch of chains and hooks.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he's like being tortured forever, and you're not going to get him back because these guys are evil, and there's no way you can outsmart them because they're fucking weird parallel dimension demons.
Yeah. It's,
So what's really the stakes? Try not to get killed.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Pretty much.
I feel like that were quite a lot of like the I guess the slasher type movies. Is like there's no real what's the purpose of it? It's just like, okay,
Watching a bunch
Try
of
not
people
to
get
die.
killed.
Yeah,
Like,
just-
here's some cool
it's
kills.
torture porn, I suppose. For
As I say, I think the
Nice.
slasher genre is dying, or like it should have died out ages ago. And like, why are you still making these kinds of movies? Because they had their time. They were
Yeah, but
released in
I-
fucking the 80s and
but-
Yeah, I
70s
think
for
it's
a
just
reason.
'cause people watch them.
yeah, it's the
Yeah, I
remake
suppose.
cash grab though,
They're
isn't
easy
it?
to make.
People love horror, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, that's a Hellraiser thing. I like that movie. Let's watch that. It's
I wouldn't
easy
even
to
say
do.
like
It's
this
easy.
looked easy to make because there's like a lot going on.
Yeah,
in it.
there's clearly a lot of
Mhm.
like passion and effort has been put
Yeah.
into this.
It is well directed.
Yeah, it's
It
a
is very
very
well
well made
directed.
movie, I think, even if I didn't really enjoy it that much.
I would recommend his other movies really
Yeah.
because they're not so overt. I guess like there's a conversation to be had nowadays about like what do they call it in Scream, where they're like talking about like the Babadook and all that.
Oh, elevated horror.
Elevated
That
horror,
is kind
yeah.
of what this is.
What?
Because it is like the whole thing is just like, all about addiction and stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, what? Like it has a deeper meaning to it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, I mean, sort of, but like every movie should have a deeper meaning to it, I think. But like, you talk about stuff like the Babadook or whatever, or like Hereditary, and there's not like loads of like bloody violence in it. It's not; those aren't slasher movies, really.
Okay, I think I got
Those
what
are
you
like
get at.
the themes come from like what's happening, and like it's more psychological, I think.
Oh yeah, it's a
with
thinky
heightened
movie.
sort
You
of,
have to
yeah.
use your brain
Yeah,
for
you have to
this
think
one.
about these things.
Mm.
I mean, there's a conversation to be had about like whether that's always practical or the way to go about it. Sometimes you want to just watch a bunch of people being slaughtered.
Apparently
but-
so. Yeah.
I don't know. It's not really for me. But that sort of thing. I do like
No.
the more elevated horrors, like the bullshit and arty as that can sound sometimes. Because sometimes it is just bullshit and arty for the sake of
Being bullshit and
bullshit and arty. But you know, Hereditary is a really good movie, and it does stuff like that. And also the Babadook I quite like a lot. But
I think there's I think there's a balance in that movie though, where
Yeah.
I think there's just enough, like
Yeah.
horrible horror visual elements to keep people just as
Yeah.
happy as the arty people that want to know
you
more
don't
about
go
the movie.
to those movies to like watch people get murdered.
No.
No, but if like say you went to the cinema with your mate who's like really into just like watching people get killed, there's a nice balance. You could both be happy.
Maybe you
watching
watch
it.
like the new Halloween movie that you watch that to watch people get murdered. But
I haven't watched it
You
because
don't.
I just,
no,
Nah, there's not many kills in that one. Well, I say you go
But
to you do,
you do
like,
go-
go to watch
yeah.
it for kills. You just don't get them.
that's a shame.
could you imagine? I mean,
You get them from Halloween Kills. That's like that
Yeah.
entire movie is literally just
Oh, I hope
like
so.
it's like a bunch of like
in the
set
title,
pieces
Chris. They need to
of
deliver their
guys just
promises,
being
right?
killed.
Yeah,
It's like basically an anthology film with just random new characters and how they die.
that's fine.
yeah, it's
Just all depends on
Yeah.
on the execution.
yeah, I guess so. Because sometimes it just stops being a horror movie after a while. It just becomes like a psychological thriller at that point, depending on what film you're watching, obviously. But then again, I think it depends on your definition of horror. Like, I find the psychological stuff somewhat worse because you can get murdered and you're dead, but if you're getting psychologically tortured forever and ever, that's like its own form of pain. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I
That's
think it
sort of
depends
what
on
they
how you
go
see
for
it.
in this though. In Hellraiser,
Yeah.
it's like these people are being tortured forever, but you can't just say that and be like, "That's you're scared by that,
Yeah.
aren't you?" Because I'm not.
Well, no, but I guess I mean, well, it's not
I
really
think it
the
just
same
lies
though,
in
is
the
it?
mystery. There's no
Yeah,
mystery
maybe.
about it. It's what I like in horror.
There's nothing to guess though, is
No.
there? But, I mean,
There's the fear of the unknown, but there's no unknown in this. You know what happens? It pulled apart by chains and hooks.
did that happen in the original film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, to be fair, you see it happen twice in the first couple of minutes of the movie anyway, so you kind of do get a gist of, oh, the hooks are coming.
Yeah, I mean you get like the Hellraiser staple shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know, I mean, like, yeah, there is a point where even if you haven't seen it, you then just start to guess what's going on, and you're like, okay, this is happening.
Funny at the end when he gets, like, that guy who had the torture device in him gets turned into one of the Cenobites.
Yeah.
I
That
don't,
reminded me of Martyrs.
I don't
Yeah, that's
understand.
pretty fucked
I don't
up,
quite
yeah.
understand what was happening there.
I
Is
guess he
becoming a
wanted a
Cenobite
reward.
like the best thing ever? I don't understand.
They seem to like each other.
Yeah, because they obviously don't get tortured
Or
anymore.
They like
Well, not-
themselves.
you know what I mean? Yeah, like they just group together, right? So do they just live forever as demons that
Yeah.
find other? I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Like, was it meant to be a punishment? Was it meant to be a gift? What? I don't understand.
It's a bit of both.
Don't
I
get
think.
it. I don't understand. Was I meant to be like absolutely like horrified by the fact that he basically became this like golden god Xenobite man? I don't understand. I didn't get it. Didn't understand what was happening. It was cool though.
Guess
I
you
liked
just
what I was
gotta
watching.
watch it again.
But the thing is, I don't. Sometimes I think I have the IQ of a squirrel, right? Because I watch these things and I go, I just don't understand what the fuck I'm looking at. I'm watching something, but it's not going in. Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty straightforward.
I don't.
Yeah, I
I
did.
think
Really
I'm
leave anything
just
up to the
dumb,
imagination.
You know?
It's just like what happens. You
Yeah,
can't
but
like watch that ending and go, oh, what the fuck was that? It's like, it's just what it is.
Maybe, okay, maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
I
thinking
just
not
don't
enough
think
and
there's
too
any
much.
like deep meaning to glean from the movie, because I think it wears what it's trying to say on its sleeve.
Well, actually, the first thing I thought of was, is this sequel bait? That's actually what I was thinking. The very first, the second it ended, I went sequel bait right there. They're gonna bring him back for his own movie, the Icarus Godman, Hellraiser 29. You know,
No, I don't think they'll make another one.
I don't know. It felt very
I don't
sequel
know, they might
bait-ish.
do.
It did.
Depends
It
how
felt like it.
successful this is.
It didn't seem it, if I'm totally honest. Like, people were watching it, but no one seemed to be all that impressed by it from the seams of things.
I've
It was
heard
like,
a lot of good
okay.
things about
Yeah.
it. That's why I was
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Honestly, I hope people do enjoy it, and I hope it makes a lot of money, because I like David Bruckner. I want him to do more movies and make the movies that he wants to make.
It's probably going to make a lot of money in America. Maybe not here, though.
Well, it won't make any money because it's a Hulu original.
That's
So
how do
he'll
these
just get a
films
lot
make
of
money?
streams.
Somebody please tell me. Please make me understand.
That's kind of like what they consider good nowadays, is how many
streaming?
streams it gets.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. There's no financial growth from that, is there?
Who knows?
Streams?
Yeah, I don't really know how it all works. to be
Yeah, I
honest.
don't get it. I was like, I'm going to Google it beforehand, and then I just didn't do it. I still don't get
I
it.
don't know. If you
Yeah.
pay like fucking £10 a month for a subscription service and you watch a movie,
Yeah.
you're not giving them more money because you watched it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is it like, when you go on Spotify and each stream's worth like 0.001 pence?
I think it just shows
Like, how's
the
it work?
streaming service what people want to watch, like what people are more likely to watch,
And then they just
and they
pay
can like invest
studios
money
based
in
on
that
that.
because maybe they'll like get more people in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's obviously got to be like a bunch of financial return.
there must be, because
Shit,
otherwise they
like,
they
duh.
wouldn't exist, would they? But I just don't
Otherwise,
get
they
it.
wouldn't get fucking Martin Scorsese and Noah Baumbach and all these
Yeah.
like really great
Well,
directors
they wouldn't
making
anymore.
movies for them.
Yeah, they've said those days are over.
Yeah, they
like, in
wouldn't
terms
anymore.
of Netflix.
Because Netflix is a dying
Yeah, but it used to be
breed.
financially viable for them to do that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it for so
Yeah,
long.
yeah, exactly.
I don't
Because
know.
that's
I
how you
think
get all
they've
the
been
Netflix
saying for
originals.
years that they've been basically operating at a loss, but I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe
the
it's
ins
just
and
gotten
outs.
to the point where it's too much of a loss.
Perhaps.
I just don't understand how. Yeah,
Maybe that's the problem with the streaming model.
yeah, maybe it doesn't work.
I also don't know, like,
No.
yeah, I don't know. Is it really that hard to like put a movie in the cinema if you're like as big as Netflix as well?
No, not at all. But a lot of the big chains refuse to show anything Netflix produced.
I think they're more
Mm.
worried about customers opting not to go to the cinema because they can watch
Yeah.
it on Netflix instead. So then obviously cinemas lose out on their screening money and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. as
although
well.
over here it seems like View are finally caving because they're showing that new Knives Out movie, which is the Netflix original.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, but there are some people in the world that either don't have Netflix or just don't want to watch it on a tiny screen in their
Yeah.
flat. Do you know what I mean?
A lot of people would rather have the option.
Yeah.
Mhm. I
Even-
know I would.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think it should be an option, but then I understand why it isn't. But I just think it's a bit silly.
Anyway, should we get to ratings? We've kind
Sure.
of derailed the conversation. a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, sure. What are we going to give Hellraiser out of boxes?
Boxes.
What even is
Okay.
the box called? It's just a box.
Yeah, it's the box.
Box.
It's
Little
the,
puzzle.
something configuration.
Box configuration.
Nice.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I mean, this is far from the worst Hellraiser movie. It's actually like probably the third, or probably say the third best in the franchise after the first two. But it's still not great.
That says a lot for the other Hellraiser
There's
films.
like a lot of stuff I really do enjoy, and I didn't hate the movie, but there was definitely a point where I just kind of lost interest. I think if the film was half an hour shorter, I probably would have liked it a lot more. I think they easily could have cut half an hour out of the movie and it would have still made perfect sense. But yeah, I'll give it like 5 boxes out of 10. Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, I like that original one. I would just watch that. But I appreciate what they were trying to do with it, I suppose. It could have been better, and it could have been, it could have been a lot of things, whatever. I hope David Bruckner gets to make more movies, and I hope this does well. As much as I didn't really care for it myself all that much. Because, when a movie does well, and you get a director who can go out and make movies that they want to make, and I hope that happens for him. I'll give it also 5 boxes out of 10.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I don't really have a lot to compare it to because I haven't seen the original, so I feel like
Seen a bit of it.
I'm just basing it on its own sort of merit. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it was just kind of there. So I'm just going to give it 5 boxes out of 10.
I can't really compare it all that much to the original because it's going for something completely different.
Oh, that's fair enough. What else? What are we getting on to now? God, there's so many fucking things to talk about. I don't know where to begin or what to say or how to go about any of it. Where do we go?
Take it away, Chris.
Help.
Take it away, Chris.
Sorry, I was eating.
He's got the wagon wheel munchies.
We also watched Triangle of Sadness.
Triage of Unhappiness.
Yeah. The new Ruben Osland.
Okay.
Whatever his name is.
We don't know.
I don't fucking know.
I think it's Osland.
I don't know him.
It's his new movie.
Ask him yourself, Chris.
Yeah, it's a film I've been looking forward to because it won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, and basically I'm trying to watch every film that wins the Palme d'Or.
And have you?
Not yet, but I'm getting there. I've seen at least 5 of them.
It's not good enough.
I've seen quite a lot of them, to be fair. I'm slowly working my way through the list.
Sorry.
Yeah, the film's about 2 models, Carl and Yaya, who are invited to this luxury cruise where everyone there is super, super rich and bougie. And everything starts to go wrong on this cruise.
Does it?
And eventually they end up on a desert island.
I feel like you explained about 3/3 of the movie there.
Yeah, that's the description, just on IMDb and everything, and in the trailers and shit.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I looked at the description after seeing the movie, and it explained everything that happened in the movie. I was like, oh, thank God, I had looked up absolutely nothing about this. Oh, how about that? Thank God.
Yeah, that's true, actually, because
it got to
so weird.
halfway through the movie, and I was like, don't they end up at a desert island in this film? But to be fair, it takes about 30-40 minutes for them to even end up on the boat.
Do you know what? I'm actually quite happy I also didn't look up anything, because I would have spent the whole movie probably doing the same thing, going, when the fuck are they getting to this fucking island? Oh my God. I didn't know it was going to be split into
it's
parts as well.
It's like three acts.
It gave me that
like
whole
a triangle.
Yeah. I actually can't believe the Triangle of Sadness is a thing.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was actually a thing. I was like, oh my God, that's
thing
amazing.
they say to models.
Yeah.
You're just relax your triangle of sadness.
It's just this thing between your eyebrows and your nose.
I didn't know that was a thing, yeah. Why is it called that, do you think?
What, the Triangle of Sadness? Or...
Yeah.
Probably because there's 3 parts and because it was a line in the movie, I think.
I'm sure because it was a line in the movie.
I'm sure there's far more to it.
Yeah, probably.
I also think, if I'm being totally honest, I think it'd be really, really difficult to come up with a name for this movie just based on what the movie is, because it's so so fucking weird.
His last movie was called The Square as well, so maybe he's just going for a shape thing at the moment.
Oh god, he's like
gonna
Ed
be like Ed
Sheeran.
Sheeran.
Yeah.
He's getting the Divide movie
Yeah.
out next. The next one will be called
Circle.
or Multiply of a Million or something stupid.
The
What's
next
his
one
name
is
again?
called
Ruben. Don't let me down, man. We need a circle movie. We need a
Rectangle movie.
yeah. We need
The
them all,
next
babe.
one's called The Rhombus of really cool stuff. This is a good movie. It was really funny, and I think if it didn't have the humor, it would be next to nothing. But luckily, it's making fun of rich people. You could say it's very surface level. I think probably without the comedy, it would be very surface level because it's not really taking itself all that seriously.
Yeah.
It's like poking fun at how the other half live. How influencers are like the main people now, or like the rich people who don't really do any work. They just like go on TikTok or Instagram and like they're very pretty, so like they get money and people send them things for free, and that's how this couple get the yacht experience.
Did they ever actually explain how they like who offered them the yacht in the first place? Because I don't remember that even coming up. No, okay. I thought I missed something.
No.
And I was like, what?
Something I really liked about the movie, though, is although it is definitely about rich people and it is kind of satirizing them in a lot of ways, it never treats them as lesser than the other characters, like the lower class characters.
Yeah.
They're kind of like all treated like they're human beings, even though they are like constantly poking fun of them. Like you got that couple who are like weapon manufacturers, who are like some of the like richest people there. They're like doing pretty shit things, making like grenades and stuff, but at the same time they're like really sweet, like wholesome old British couple. I feel like everyone's kind of treated like that. Everyone is kind of like, although they are kind of like made fun of, it's never in a really malicious way where he's like pointing his finger and saying rich people suck.
No, because they're all people, right? They're all these people who are very rich, or like they make their money from like strange means or like whatever, and you know, all these billionaires or whatever, they're all flesh and blood, you know. And they all can be brought down to such a level as to make them human. And I think this movie is like, they are human, and we're going to humanize them by putting them through the 3 trials of sadness or whatever, and like they just go through these trials to like humanize them in the end. But it was also about, I think, like how we treat each other as like a people, or like how it almost felt a bit cynical in a way, where it's like what we've got nowadays is we see like capitalism and like the people at the top, and I think it was like poking fun at the people at the top, or like how we manufacture people at the top to look like and appear as gods among us. But then it like brings them down to our level, these fucking cretins at the bottom, and then when they get to the island, you get this woman who worked on the ship, and she knows how to do everything. She knows how to catch fish and make a fire and all that. And she becomes the de facto leader because she knows how to do all these things. But then ultimately, she just turns into what they used to be, and now they're who she was, really. And I guess it slightly got me ever so slightly annoyed when it was like because I don't know if it's like really trying to go for like we're all going to eat each other in the end, and like there's nothing changes and it's all cyclical, and it's all strangely enough it is kind of like a circle where it all just like goes around and nothing really gets done about it. But I don't know, like because it has like comedic angle to it, I don't think it was really supposed to be. I'm not really supposed to be taking it all that seriously.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it is about like power and what like the issue of like giving people unlimited power and like basically letting people like get their way and never saying no to people. Like I think, you know, you're always afraid to say no to someone who's like more powerful than you, like a manager or something like that. And they kind of like a lot of the movie is just like, here's what happens like when you say yes to everybody, like, and don't like say no when it needs to be said.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole segment in the movie where there's a woman who wants like all the crew to like swim with her and like go swimming, and like everyone's like they can't say no, so they can't tell her no.
Yeah.
But like because of that, they're like all the food is left out, so it all goes rotten, which like leads to this really gross sequence of everyone just throwing up in this restaurant.
Yeah, well, there's like a storm outside.
Yeah,
That's what I thought it was. I thought everyone
it's
was
a
just
mixture
seasick.
of both. I think it's a mixture of the bad food and the seasickness, which is caused by the captain, who's a like drunkard who like refuses to have his like captain's meal on any day except for Thursday because he's too drunk to say otherwise, even though he's been warned that there's bad weather that day, so they can't do it that day.
He was my hero. He was like,
He was
I
the
don't
best
like
character.
I don't like the fancy food. He just has a burger and chips. I was like, that is my hero.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. Is that I don't like fine dining, he says, and it's like he's probably done like a bunch of these. So
Yeah, he
like he's
must
had
have,
this experience like all the whole time, and that we like to think that if we had the chance, we'd go out and dine on fucking caviar and all this like weird jelly stuff and all that salad and all
Thing is,
these
though,
like weird fine dining stuff that they have at fancy restaurants.
Would you guys want to do that?
Yeah, but I think that's what it's trying to say is that at the end of the day, what's better for you, or like what's feeds your soul more? Is it going to be like, are you really going to have more fun out on a cruise eating a fucking see-through jelly that tastes of fucking fish, or are you going to have more fun, like enjoy yourself more with just a burger and chips and like that? At the end of the day, we all like to think like, oh yeah, we go to McDonald's or whatever, and it's like the lowest of the fucking low food you can get. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't like a burger, you know? And it's like these things that we're like told are like, yeah, you eat this because you're poor, but
Yeah.
it's like, well, I think there's like class to food, or like there's classism in like food culture.
Yeah, I
that
think
they're
it's
trying
just
to poke fun at.
Yeah, I think it's just like really weird as well. But maybe it's because I'm like the pickiest like eater in the world, right? So like I the thought of like eating fancy food literally makes me want to like die. But I don't know whether it's just like, you know, because they say, oh no, but like, wouldn't you want to eat like this? I'm like, no, actually, I really wouldn't, because I just don't want to eat fish
I think
eggs and
with
stuff.
this film, during that sequence where everyone's getting their food taken out to them, they do intentionally like pick meals that are going to look really disgusting, because the whole point of that scene is to make you feel sick.
I like the octopus things. What was that jelly meant to be?
I don't know.
It just looked like
They're picking a lot of wobbly foods that wobble a lot because the boat's going all over the place.
I like that though. I like the motion of food.
They're really really great filming with that. With just like everybody's like standing up and they're like tilted. Because have you seen like actual like real footage of people who are like on ships when like there's like a storm and like they just like stand there but they're like tilted and they're like really trying not to like fall over. It's like it's really cool and interesting. But like you got Woody Harrelson there who's like the captain, and he's just like standing there greeting them, but he's like tilted at an angle because the ship's like in the midst of a storm.
Yeah. But I guess you kind of, I don't know about like, obviously like people who go on cruises probably are not used to that, but I assume the people who work on it, because they all seem to be fine, right? They're probably so used to like fucking slamming
Can't
around
work on
like
a cruise if you get seasick, right?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just...
They're also not eating the food.
Yeah, that is true.
That's
I just
gone
love
off.
the fact that they were like, oh, you look unwell. You probably feel better once you eat it. And I was like, that is literally the last thing I'd want to do. Like, no way.
There's that woman who's like, she projectile vomits and then asks for like more champagne, like tries to wash it down.
To be fair though, I think everyone in their lifetime has tasted like the backlash of vomit, and I don't even drink, and I also think I would drink it if it was next to me just to get it out. It's not a good taste. It's not a good feel. It's like
but they were offering her water.
Oh, I mean,
she still said, "Give me more champagne."
Yeah.
Because that's what she thinks she needs, or like she deserves. If she drinks water, she's no better than a poor person, right? And I think that scene did a really fucking good job at like, because it's humiliating, right? To throw up in front of people, it's degrading. You feel like awful, like really embarrassed. So to have all these rich people sunk so brought so fucking low, just to like throw up in front of everyone and like basically swimming in each other's vomit is hilarious because it's happening to rich people.
Yeah. And then they make it worse by making like all the toilets like explode with shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was literally just thinking about that. What was that that man who's like vomiting and shitting at the same time, and like the whole place is just brown, like it's just brown everywhere.
I was looking at that and I was like, this means like this has so much like it needs to say, and it's just saying it with this. It's like these rich bougie people drowning in their own shit.
Do you know what? I love it.
All the stuff you're not supposed to see or like, not supposed to like look at or touch or fucking talk about, you know. And it all just comes back up to like drown them and just obliterate their entire
because it's almost hard to
being.
Yeah, it's like almost hard to think about these people being in such a high class that you forget that they also shit.
Yeah,
it's like
it's hard to think,
almost juvenile, but I think in a really like mature way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of like the way that they did it, and they're kind of like, hey, you're not below being sick. Yeah. You also have human function. Yeah, you shit too.
You all do smelly poo. And I really liked Woody Harrelson just over the tannoy reading out these like lines from fucking
Karl Marx
and all that, and talking about how like capitalism is like destroying us and like how we've basically fucked ourselves in the pursuit of like absolute richness, you know?
And he's like saying he's a socialist, but then criticizing himself, saying he's a shit socialist and saying why he is.
I'm a socialist.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking about this. I don't know if it was yesterday or not, but I was just like thinking about when he's talking about how all these rich people, they don't pay their fair way in taxes and stuff. And on the way home, me and Chris walked home. And I was saying, like, why did I pay? I didn't pay, by the way. Chris paid for the ticket, but in theory, quote unquote, why would I pay upwards of £9 for some rich geezer to tell me exactly what I fucking know about rich people already? And I was thinking, this guy's talking about, like, obviously I'm not saying that none of these actors obviously pay their taxes and stuff. They probably do. But, like, isn't it kind of ironic of having a movie like this when we don't know whether the director's ever paid his fair way in taxes, whether Woody Harrelson's ever paid his fair way in taxes, you know, like, I'm just like, I can't believe I just sat and paid for a film that's just told me what I already know about rich people that I do not like.
Yeah.
It's like,
so it's like, where do you draw the line between who you allow to tell you what to think about these things?
Exactly. And it really got me thinking. I was like, I actually can't believe a movie about vomit and shit. Maybe think this deeply
because,
into
you know, like recently we've seen like this backlash from like Elon Musk buying Twitter, and everybody's having a go at him because he basically has admitted that he knows absolutely nothing about how to run a website, and like everybody's digging into his past and like all this shit, and he just like really wants to be liked, and he's like, comedy is now legal on Twitter, and it's like, oh, what that means is you can now say the N-word without getting banned. But then like people take the piss out of him and like impersonate him on Twitter and make jokes, and he just bans them.
Yeah.
Like, well, we just see how that happens.
You can't take what he dishes, obviously.
Yeah, while watching this movie, I was like, I feel like this came out at the perfect point.
It really did.
Feels just so timely, like, especially with that Elon Musk shit going on.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest though, like I'm not saying I like Elon Musk, right? But for someone to actually just straight up admit that they don't know what the fuck they're doing, I respect it a bit more than them pretending they know what they're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, fine. But why buy Twitter in the first? I know I've got more money than sense. Buying Twitter was like me shitting on a £5 note. Like, it doesn't matter to him. But like, why buy it? Why?
To prove that he could.
Yeah, but we already know that he could. It's like saying, oh, I could buy the New York Giants. I don't fucking know.
Well, again, you know, it's like,
you could. Like,
that's
why?
what happens when you have more money than sense. You make stupid fucking bullshit decisions that don't really benefit anything. And I think that's what the movie was trying to say as well. Like,
I think it's
these people
just,
aren't like gods.
Yeah,
these people aren't more intelligent than us.
Apparently not. And I don't know. I feel sometimes I just feel like I'm at such a loss with how like stupid some people can be. But the thing is, with people like Elon Musk, he's always had money, hasn't he? Because he's from like a mining family or something, right? So he's always had money.
Like a bunch of money,
so
and he turned it into even more money through other people's ideas.
Yeah, exactly. So he was already like, to be honest.
He made like a bunch of cars that didn't work.
He had money, he was stupid, but he invested well, whatever, fine, cool, whatever. But like, there are some people that obviously like work from the ground up to make their money, and they still make stupid fucking choices. Like, you should know better because you're not from money. Why do people do these things? Like, do you just, is the root of that whole like the more money you have, the more stupid you are or something, because you're just like, well, it doesn't really matter to me. Like, I don't get it. I just don't understand how people can be that dumb with money. I know you've got it, but why are you that dumb?
Well, these people are not intelligent.
I know, but why
It just goes
aren't
to show you, like,
they?
you don't need to be intelligent to be rich. That's just like,
Yeah,
maybe
and
you
that's
could just
kind
be
of
good at
something
that's
they
what the
show in
whole-
this
Yeah.
movie as well.
Yeah, but that's what the whole
people are not
influencer thing
intelligent.
is. Like, you don't have to be smart to be an influencer. You just have to be the right kind of person.
Good looking.
Or
Yeah.
the right look. Or, you know, like, you don't have to have a talent or anything anymore. Oh my God, this is making me so angry, like, just talking about it. But, like, I don't know. I just think, surely there are things that can be... Surely some people should know, like, inherently, that if you can't be this stupid, surely. Like, no one is this I mean, they are, obviously, but I don't understand how it can be.
well, I don't know. Like, when they get washed up on the island, they don't really know what they're doing. But also thinking, like,
Who would,
yeah, I don't know
though?
who would.
Yeah, like,
Well, I don't know
thi-
how to make a fire. I don't know how to catch a fish with my bare hands. It's like, of course you don't.
Yeah,
Who
because
fucking does?
where would that ever be in a situation? It was like, we went to Cornwall, right? Do you remember when we went to Cornwall?
Yes, I
And
remember.
Reed was like, does anyone know how to make a fire? And we were like, what the hell are you talking about? And he went, well, I watched videos on YouTube of this man in the Arctic who made a fire in this ditch, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, give me this wood. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's fine. Yeah, that's
Like-
fine. Like, I don't know. But, like, I think it was also trying to take a jab at, like, we don't need one person at the top, because back in the day, we just, like, were in our own little communities and everybody, like, had their skills and you banded together and, like, that's how you got on with each
Yeah,
other.
but what
But
was
when there's,
the-
like, some mega corp at the top being like, you do, like, this labor for me, and they know how to, or, like, with this one woman who knew how to do everything, she didn't bother teaching these people how to
do
make a fire or how
anything,
to
yeah.
catch fish. She just knew that because she knew how to do those things, that meant that she was in a position of power. And I think I really quite like the end of the movie where she has to decide, do I want to be like king of the fucking
Island.
peasants,
Yeah.
or do I want to be like a peasant in a kingdom?
Yeah. And do you know what? What would you guys do?
I don't think that's the point.
Yeah, but I'm asking, what would you guys do?
Would I rather be like
Yeah,
king
would
of
you-
shit or
Yeah, or shit
Just-
of kings.
shit on someone else's heel? I don't know. It's an impossible question.
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible.
Like, I don't know how to solve capitalism.
Well, no one's obviously going to solve capitalism, but if it ever came
Like,
to that
you
sort
ask
of
me,
situation,
like, yeah,
it's
I don't like how capitalism is, and I don't like late stage capitalism, and I don't like how people are treated in our society today. But you ask me, like, what's the alternative? I don't know. I don't want to fucking live in the woods, really.
No.
I don't know the solution.
It
I
sounds
just need
like
Elon Musk to come up with a solution, and then I'll follow whatever he says.
I definitely would not follow anything that Elon Musk says. But then again, that man has more money than anyone in the
Them
world.
balls.
Yeah. only takes so much money to have more money than balls, to be fair.
2 monies.
Two monies. Oh my god. I don't know. I just yeah, I think this film was meant to make me angry, but I didn't realize how angry it was going to make me because I'd been thinking about it for like
Yeah.
days. Obviously, I
got
know we
very
went the other
angry
day.
while watching
but-
the movie, but I think that was the point, and it was also like
Yeah.
I was smiling a lot because I was like, "This is infuriating me. These people are infuriating.
Oh my
I
God,
hate
yeah,
it."
I
The
was-
fucking scene where like they're at dinner and like he's like the check comes to the dinner table and then he's like, "Oh, did you not see that check? Like you said you were going to pay," and she was like, "No, I didn't see the check," and like I thought you were going to pay. Or like she said, "Oh, thank you, honey," and he was like, "Well, you just said thank you, like insinuating that I'm going to pay, but I already like paid before. Like you said you were going to pay." And there's like this whole fucking argument that they got into. It was like just cringing. I was like,
Oh my God.
because it's
And-
so relatable.
Yeah.
But what I think what made it worse though was like that bit with the elevator where they were just constantly opening and
Yeah.
shutting
That
the
was funny.
doors.
yeah.
It's like,
I'm
don't
not going to say
fucking
like
throw money
this
at me.
exact situation's happened to me before, because I don't think it has. But it's like
I must say, it's never
money
happened
and
to
like
me.
power struggles within a relationship, and it's like, how do you like juggle that? Because it's not supposed to really be a power dynamic in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I just want to be your friend, and she says, I don't fuck my friends. And I thought, you need to try.
That
annoyed me.
I mean, I've seen like, you know, like you see that kind of thing before where someone will pick up the bill and be like, God, I thought you were going to pay it this time, or whatever. But like, I've never had that kind of situation happen because I just don't. I don't know. I've always what's the word? Is it going Dutch? Is that the correct term?
I don't know. You tell me what it means.
Where you just split it between the two, or just pay for whatever you've eaten or whatever. Like, you just do your fair share of it. Because, like, I just don't see... I mean, obviously, like, you know, when you go out to dinner with your parents or whatever, you know, you're always going to make them pay. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But,
of course.
Yeah, but, like, in a relationship, you just... Isn't it just, like, the normal thing to pay for your own? Like, I've rarely ever had anyone just flat out buy a dinner. But then I don't really go to...
She's throwing you under the bus, Chris.
No,
I don't know. I guess it depends what you want from a relationship, or like how you.
I just think
how
it's...
you sort through the dynamic. I guess.
I just think it's only fair to pay your half, right? Like when me and Chris go anywhere, we always pay half, or Chris pays up front, and then I just bank transfer him the second I'm out of there, because there's no point in going, can we just pay for this?
Yeah, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. That's what their relationship is like. But it was like, she didn't love him.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell if they were together or not. I was confused.
They were clearly only together because it looked good, and they had that whole conversation about how they were together because it looked good on Instagram, and he said, I'm going to make you fall in love with me. Toss a coin whether she actually did or not, but I'm pretty sure, like, who knows? Yeah, because
what I was getting from it was that they were not together, but it was just together for show.
Like, they never get on.
Yeah, they don't, do they?
Like
they
each
hate
other.
each other, basically.
Oh, dude, he's like, I love you, but it's like, all you've done is argue with her like the entire time, and the instant you are able to cheat on her, you do it with an old woman who's like the matriarch now, because like that's like power. You go toward power when like the woman is on the island.
He gets food in return. He gets pretzel sticks.
That's
and
the
if
whole
you ain't
point,
fucking
though.
for pretzel sticks, you ain't doing it right.
But that's what it's trying to say. You go where the power is.
Yeah.
No, you go where the pretzel sticks are. that was a look, but
Well, I know what we're rating this one out of.
100%. No, but I know what you mean though. It's kind of I think there are the types of people that will just
sometimes you live your life so like online or whatever, you forget what it is to be a fucking person, or like even how to love someone else. I think they were really struggling with that. Or like, did they even like each other really? Probably not.
What, like even as people?
Yeah,
no, probably not. No. It's
even like when like they were
thought.
having sex, he was like he was pretending to be someone else. He was like, yeah, I'm the pool man who you fancied or whatever. And like that's how they had sex. Like, clearly you don't really like each other all that much.
I
just thought of that as just like a fun little role play thing.
Yeah.
I didn't think
that is
anything
also like
into
the only
it.
time they have sex in the movie.
It's also like the most genuine you see them, which is weird. It's the only time they really seem to
Funny that only time
have
they're
like
like
an
really
actual
themselves.
connection or anything.
Someone's trying to be someone
when
else.
they're not themselves. I didn't like them at all, but then I know I'm not meant to.
I didn't really like anyone in this movie, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah, I know.
No one's meant to be likable.
No, but it's the weird thing, isn't it? Right? I didn't enjoy a single person in this film. Yet the film was really good.
Yeah.
Normally, when I don't enjoy a person, I'm like, I cannot wait for this thing to fucking finish because it's annoying.
I actually quite like Woody Harrelson, like the captain character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
he wasn't.
quite good.
He wasn't
But then,
in
like,
it long enough, you know.
I guess it was insinuated that he died in the explosion.
Yeah.
I was like, because he was like the only one who was kind of genuine enough to be there. Like, he had to die.
I can't believe you just reminded me of the fucking hand grenade thing. Hey, darling, isn't this one of our hand grenades? No! Don't give it to me!
That was hilarious.
Also, like when
Oh my god.
Woody Harrelson was having a conversation with a Russian, he was like, "Look at us, Russian capitalist and an American socialist eating lunch together or whatever."
Oh
that was
my
fun.
god.
I think one of my favourite like jokes is when the Russian guy finds his dead wife, like who's washed up onto this shore. He just like starts taking her rings and stuff off.
That was horrible.
Like he's crying, but he's taking off her jewelry at the same
Yeah.
time.
That's just kind of like how I felt about the whole vibe of this movie. It like
That is it.
it manages to be so dark and fucked up, but also funny at the same time. Like that whole like restaurant sequence, it's like some of the grossest shit I've ever seen in a film. It's like genuinely really horrible.
It is.
Like the way it's shot and like just everything about that
It's so
sequence.
nauseating, isn't it?
It is really nauseating. It kind of like makes you feel like you're seasick or something, but it's also hilarious.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that though, because it could have gone too far, you know? Like if it wasn't funny, I feel
like
too
it
much.
did go too far, but like it went so far that it became funny again, I think.
Yeah. Well, that woman's fucking trying to throw up in the toilet, but the ship's like going like up and down, and she like
Moving.
keeps sliding around in her own vomit, so she can't vomit in the toilet. Oh, it's so good.
New Noise by Refuse coming on as like shit starts pouring out of the toilet like a flood.
That was quite
great.
possibly the best thing ever. Like that scene alone was like, I would watch this scene on repeat for the rest of my life. But just that little bit alone, not the rest of it.
Love
was
it.
great.
Just go on to ratings.
Yeah, sure. Pretzel sticks.
Cool.
Yeah, I fucking loved this movie. I thought it was so good. I really want to check out his other movies, which I will do at some point. But I think as it stands, this is probably like third or fourth favourite film of the year. Really loved it. I give it 10 pretzel sticks out of 10.
God damn. I'm a bit lower because I thought it went on a bit too long.
Yeah.
I thought like when the ship exploded, I was like, it's over, and that was really
That's
great.
what I thought,
And then
yeah.
it went on for about another hour, and I don't think. I think a lot of what went on in the island was very strong, but it was like it's never got as strong as it
I
was
get you.
before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give it an 8 pretzel sticks for now.
I agree. I drank my whole of my ice blast, and then when the ship
Yeah, you
exploded, I thought, I can get up and have a piss now. No, I couldn't get up and have a piss for another hour and 10 minutes. So I thought, fuck me. Other than that, yeah, it was pretty solid, but not perfect in my opinion. So 8 pretzel sticks out of 10.
Awesome. So that's that. Happy Monday to you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode. Joking. We got into something else to talk about. We've been here for 4 hours.
We've been here for such a long time already that I've struggled to brain. It's 9 o'clock.
So we watched a show, House of
my
the Dragon,
God.
that came out recently. It ended recently, should I say. We've been watching it week by week when we can on Now TV, the best streaming service in the world.
You fucking liar.
It's about Targaryens and all that. Everybody knows what it's about. What do we think of this? We had a discussion on the first episode when that came out.
Yeah.
We were interested to see what they do with it. What did they do with it? And do we think it was any good?
It was amazing. I've probably mentioned it in the when we were talking about the first episode, to be fair, that I get a little bit worried when TV shows do like their spin-offs and stuff, especially if the TV show was like amazing, because I'm like, oh god, is it going to live up to it? But I actually would say I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if this is going to be controversial. Maybe it might be, but I think this season was better than the first season of Game of Thrones.
I'd agree with that.
No, I don't agree. No, I don't agree with that. But then maybe I'd feel the same if I watched it again. I would like to watch it again. I watched the first season of Game of Thrones pretty recently, and I was like, this is fucking actually awesome. This is really good, actually.
Yeah, it is great.
I guess it's because from my own experience, I didn't get into Game of Thrones for about 6 or 7 episodes because I just couldn't get into it. But this, I pretty much got into it right away. But I don't know if that's a product of having watched all of Game of Thrones and getting really into it, and like getting into the whole, I'm already here in this land. I don't know.
I think in season 1 of Game of Thrones they didn't know what they had.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
in season 1 of House and the Dragon, they already know what a phenomenon Game of Thrones is.
I think that's what I'm getting at. Yeah,
they
like
know what they have. They know what they need to do, and they also know
the formula.
Maybe not the formula, but definitely like what they need to do to make this good. Or like they have like the blueprints there. They have the book, and they also know that if they fuck it up, that it's fucked forever, because like the last season of Game of Thrones went down so poorly with people.
To be fair, you can't fuck it up much more than that.
If you fuck this up, if you even make this like mediocre, you're fucked.
Yeah, that is true.
I think it's like it's going to be a problem going like down the line, because I feel like even if like there's a season later on that's like slightly weak, people are going to just cancel the show off entirely.
Maybe.
Yeah. You have to keep hitting home runs with this. It's not even an option to dip.
Because like people hated that last season so much.
Yeah, but I felt like I actually think there was valid reasons to really dislike that last season, if I'm totally honest.
I'm not saying that is like unjustified.
But then how many seasons, because these are based on other books, aren't they? So like how many seasons do you think you could rinse out of this one, ideally, before it gets...
Fair few.
Yeah, probably like at least 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think they would go on that far though, maybe. I don't know.
I think
they're not going to make another Game of Thrones-esque
Yeah, I don't know if they'd go on like another
seasons.
8
I reckon,
seasons.
I think they'll do about 3, maybe.
We'll see, I suppose. I mean, I'm hopeful for it because they have the book, the Fire and Blood, they're based on.
Done, isn't
and
it? Yeah.
It's done, and it's a full actual book, and it's only one tome. But like the Game of Thrones, what the books those are based on, or that show is based on, still not even finished.
Yeah, no, it's been going on for ages, hasn't it?
They did have to make shit up as they went along after a certain point.
Yeah, I think they took George R.R. Martin's like notes of how it was going to go, and then they kind of ran with it from there.
Like I heard that because the man is, I wouldn't even say he's like dead old, but he's fairly old.
Get in there.
So I heard that just before they started making the last season, they got George R.R. Martin to write the final like thing that he was going to do for this book or whatever, like how it was going to end. And they put it like in a safe, and they were like, if he dies, we then have the ending of the show. I don't know if it's true or not, but I was like, if that ending is different to the one that they used, then I would like to know what the other ending was meant to be, because it was shit. Like, if these books come out, right, and it's just like, Bran rules the fucking kingdom, I'd be like, God, what a shit way to end such a great thing.
Yeah. I think that is how it's supposed to end.
Oh, it's just awful though, isn't it? Like,
well, I don't know, because like, the only problem I had with that was that they rushed it and it was out of nowhere. But if George R.R. Martin, he's a terrific writer. Like, if he somehow manages to end his books in the exact same way Game of Thrones ended, and it's actually great, that's a triumph.
Yeah, I mean...
maybe it would be just like a... like the studio was like, okay, let's just shit it out for the public to consume. And then George R.R. Martin's like, no, you didn't do it right. It's meant to be like this. And everyone reads it and goes, okay, we should totally go back and watch Game of Thrones again. And then you would just be disappointed again, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like beat a dead horse at this point, but like I've always said, my biggest problem with the last season of that show is not like what happens, it's how it happens. It's the execution.
Doesn't
like,
it just happen
the plot
all in like
outline
one
is
go?
fine.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with anything that happens plot-wise. It's the execution of it.
Yeah, same. Pretty much.
I don't know.
I mean,
actually, I was like, why did they
that
rush
being
it?
said, I am reading the books, and if like, it ends in that way, I guess we just have to depend on his execution. And I think, you know, as long as he's taken with it, I appreciate it's going to be probably the best thing ever.
Maybe they should have just waited instead of shitting out
Waited for
the
what,
ending
though?
that they did. Like, I don't know, like maybe
For him to finish the books, because all those actors are going to be dead. by
No,
the time he does it.
no. Like just I don't know, like add on an extra episode or an extra season or something. Like they didn't need to rush
needed an
it.
extra season at
They
least.
didn't need to rush it. I don't know why they did that. It just didn't make
do
sense.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
I know, but then they didn't do Star Wars, did they?
yeah, well, that flopped, and they made the wrong decision.
Yeah, so I think they should have. Yeah, if they had
just-
taken their time, it could have been better because and then they wouldn't have had to rush it. But
Yeah, I
don't
just
know.
hope they don't make wrong decisions with House of the Dragon.
Well, they won't because they're not getting offered another star.
I will say, like, the only kind of gripe I had with it was, like, they don't go to enough places and it's mostly situated in King's Landing, and that can get a bit droll sometimes when they're just, like, in the same place for pretty much the whole thing.
I kind of liked it. I liked that it was a lot more self-contained. Because it's about the house at the end of the day.
It's called
about the house. It's called the House of the Dragon. It's about the house at the end of the day.
It's not called the Empire of the Land.
I felt like the point of Game of Thrones was it's like about all these different like, houses and about all these different people, whereas this is like only about a handful of people. It's very, very self-contained, and I thought it served it well.
I didn't like the time jumping too much. I didn't mind.
That got to me, like, that was slightly jarring when it happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the fact that they did it, but I didn't like how quickly they, like, like how far they jumped in like one episode.
I mean, the only problem I had with it was when I was watching it, I was like, oh man, I liked that actor.
Yeah, I know that you get used to them, they're gone.
You get used to it and it's fine.
Yeah, I suppose so. I really like Millie Alcock as Ray.
Yeah, she was so good.
I actually think everyone was the longer the show went on, the more I kind of because I'm a creature of habit. I don't like change. So when the actors changed, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But the
we threw all our toys out the pram.
But the longer it went on, the more I was like, oh, actually, I think I like them. So
it took
I
about
think,
20 minutes to get accustomed to it. And we're like, okay.
Oh, it took me about an episode for me to go. Like, I was whinging the whole episode, like, this ain't the same. Yeah. It's just not the same. And then I was like, actually, no, they're all right. Yeah. I thought it was good. I liked it. But...
I keep saying, like, I don't want celebrities or, like, big name actors in these shows. Like, I think that's what Game of Thrones did really well, bar Ed Sheeran. But it was just like a bunch of people you didn't really know all that well. You got Sean Bean, but he's not really in it all that much.
He's contracted to die.
Peter Dinklage was a fairly well-known actor before it. But that's about it.
They blended it well. I think they do the same here as well. And I really like pretty much everyone they get in here. You got Paddy doing a fucking insane job.
He was incredible in this show.
Paddy Considine.
I'm actually so upset that he's no longer in it.
But he pulls out a fucking... Yeah, spoilers for House of the Dragon, but everybody's seen it by now. But, like...
I was going to say, we
the time he gets in it, it's like, holy fucking balls.
Yeah, no,
oh my God.
It was it was like the perfect ending, I get you. But I was also like...
Yeah. I'm
like,
so used to him in fucking, like Hot Fuzz and The World's End and all that, being in like a lot of comedies. Yeah. But like to pull out this really fucking amazing, dark kind of dramatic role, and like he's just trying to keep his family together. He's like a really nice guy who's just like trying to keep the peace. Just like get some fucking insane acting stuff to go along with this. Like he does maybe the best job in the show.
I think he was my favourite, which was why I was so sad when he was gone. But I understand. I think he would have it's going to sound bad for me to say, but I think at some point he probably would have overstayed his welcome if it had gone much further.
I think the character kind of served its purpose.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
He set it up. He was the guy.
I loved him.
The guy at the top.
I loved him. Yeah.
Yeah. His death scene was like actually kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah. It was great.
Mate,
Jesus.
I'm like sitting on the edge going...
Like they're fucking talking about prophecy and all that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then he's like on his own, like heavily breathing. He just says like, my love, and then it just cuts to black.
You just like sit there in total silence.
The thing, I think... see, the thing is, at first I was like... Oh, like, did he just go to sleep? But the thing is, like, you just, because we watch everything with subtitles on the Sunday movie marathon. It's just what we do. It's just how we live our lives. Don't judge us. But, like, you'll just be like, breathing stops. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
No, the breathing stopped.
He's gone.
He had a great scene when, like, he was, like, really deteriorating. And he's, like, got this kind of, like, golden mask on because, like, half his face is, like, decayed. And he's, like... comes into the throne room and like nobody expects him to come, but he's like, I'm here, and like walks up to the throne room. It's like, how is this like the best thing in this show? Like,
it was literally just like a minute and a half of him just walking through a room, but it was just like, how did you make that
so good?
Yeah, his crown falls off at one point. Matt Smith runs over, picks it up. Apparently that was not scripted as well. His crown just happened to fall off and Matt Smith just improvised.
Do you know what?
Best part.
Yeah,
It was just,
I
like,
think
really
that was
great.
great.
Like, surely not. Surely that was
I
that
thought
was
it
such a
great,
key
yeah.
point where like that character of Damon, who's played by Matt Smith, is like, you are the king. Here's your crown.
Yeah.
Like, he spent so long trying to like be him or whatever, and like trying to get that top place and like be king, to like hand him the crown, and essentially say without words like you are the king.
But the
That
thing
was
is,
insane.
I think, and I'm not trying to read too much into it or whatever, but like, I don't know, if you think that someone is literally like at the end of their cycle, I guess, wouldn't you just be like, yeah, you are the king, because you're going to be king for about another 5 fucking minutes before I try and get the throne? Do you know what I mean? Like, I obviously, like, you know, there's a lot of respect there, because, you know, you feel it in the room in that scene, but, you know, like, you would just
No, he
kind
respected him.
Well, of course he did, but at the same time, I think he was probably just thinking also, well, you're not going to have it for much longer, so just give it back to you.
He respected the hustle.
Oh, I respected his
He's
hustle.
like, damn, bro, that was insane.
Him walking in that fucking room, I was like, you go, man. You fucking go. Like, I'm cheering him on, like, yeah, you walk. And he's just walking. He's not even doing anything special. He's literally just walking. And we're all like, yeah, you fucking get out there. It was like watching some spectacular event. It was, how do you make something so mundane so cool? It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, man. Yeah, that show's it's incredible. I'm keen for a second season, but I'm also a little bit worried because I tend to get the longer a show goes on. I know it hasn't even been on that long, but the longer a show goes on, the more jittery I get about whether it's going to go in a good direction or if it's going to go to shit.
I'm not worried at all. I think they're going to do an amazing job, and I think it's going to be great.
Yeah,
It better be. I get jittery. That's all.
I think it got off to such an amazing start that I feel like it can only get better from there.
It has to, right?
But going into the fucking Dance of the Dragons next.
Tell me it does. Oh my god.
Like going into the Dance of the Dragons.
Oh my
Yeah, I mean, like this season ended off like in such an incredible place. Like those final few minutes was like such a like what the fuck moment.
I was just sitting
like,
enough. It was like
it's clearly going to go somewhere great.
I was transported, right? That the last couple of minutes took me back to when I was watching Game of Thrones on my mate's sofa, and it would be like 3:00 in the morning. We'd like used to binge like a couple episodes because, you know, she used to record it on a little skybox or whatever, and we'd be doing this. Oh my fucking god! Oh my god! It's like 3:00 in the morning. She's like, "Do you want another one?" I'm like, "Get me another fucking tea." And we would watch it till the sun fucking came up, right? And that made me go, "Oh man, it's the end of the fucking season." And I'm sitting there going, "Oh no." I don't have anything to watch.
I think there was like a moment right at the end of the last episode where there was just like a collective gasp from all of us.
Man, because it was so like out of pocket. It was like, fuck. But then it's the standard Game of Thrones rules, isn't it? It's like, don't get too attached and don't be surprised when something fuckery goes on. Cause
there's a lot of like really visceral, like horrible stuff that happens in the show. Like you think Game of Thrones is like brutal at times. This is fucking. It doesn't happen loads, but when something like horrible happens, or like somebody like what we said that like at the first episode, it was like brutal fucking carnage.
Oh my god,
with, like, the tourney and like the birth scene, and that was horrible.
Yeah.
It's like some of the most viscerally disgusting shit I've ever seen.
And then they do the birth scene again.
Yeah, oh mate,
different character.
All right. Spoilers, but like in the last episode, she fucking pulls a baby out of herself, and it's the most horrible shit, where she just won't accept any help from anyone, and she just like pulls the baby out of her. That was the most horrible thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Some of the most disgusting shit.
Yeah, this show is
why
just
did
like,
you do that?
oh, it's just one of them shows, though, isn't it? It's like.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
It
It's
hits
great.
you. It's like it just punches you down. It's like, you think this bit's bad. Come back to me in about half an hour when I show you this other shit, and it just
There was
goes,
a point where it was
boom.
like, if you're not sold on Emma Darcy playing this character yet, like this is now you'll know. She's amazing.
Yeah, she was incredible. That like that sequence of like her like going to greet the king while she's pregnant. Like
Yeah.
And like,
Sorry,
it's like just after she's given birth, and she's like walking through these corridors.
I'd just like to correct everyone that Emma goes by they pronouns, just so everybody is
I
aware
apologise.
for the podcast. Only because I've been on Facebook a million times and I've seen this argument a million times. Could you imagine someone comes on the YouTube video, how fucking disrespectful are you guys? So I'm just throwing it out there for any future conversations.
And
that we
also
have about
like
this
a
show.
great scene that like felt like it went on for a very long time, but it like
Which one?
It was when her son was like riding back on his dragon from Storm's End after like basically failing to get favour from the Lord of Storm's End.
Oh,
And
when
he's like flying on his dragon in a storm,
And he's
then
that geezer
fucking
on the other-
Aemond Targaryen, who's the son of Viserys, he's on like the biggest dragon that they've got there. And he loses control of the dragon, and then the dragon fucking devours and like, bites in half her son. And,
right,
like,
what the actual shit? Like, I think that was the part where I just kind of went, oh, but it was like I think everyone just kind of went, huh?
Yeah, that's the bit I was saying. I think there was a collective gasp. So we were like,
No,
oh
but
my god.
It was so out of pocket. Like, tell me, like, did anyone expect that to happen? Like, right, so
no, it was crazy.
No, like, sorry, fucking washing machine. Like, to be perfectly honest, right, I'd come across some of these like memes because we didn't watch it for about 2 weeks or so because we were just busy with life and shit, right? And I saw this like meme on Facebook that was like that dragon that ate the other dragon. Sorry, I don't know the dragon's names, right? And it was like, he's been a naughty dragon. Tell him he's a naughty dragon. And I was like, why is he a naughty dragon? And then this episode came up, I was like, oh, that's why he's a naughty dragon. And I just thought, oh my god, it's like people on Facebook are going out of their way to make memes but not spoil the show. I don't know how they're doing it now.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, like they're spoiling it but not in a way that's like overtly obvious. It's very strange, but I appreciate it, yeah, because normally when shows like this come on, you can only watch it on the day of until someone makes a meme that's like, whoa, this thing happened. It's like, it's been out like an hour. Like, you already made a meme
Yeah,
about
that
this.
used to happen to me during like when I was watching Better Call Saul. I'd wake up in the morning, go on Facebook, and then just see like a picture of like one of the main characters dying.
Like, why would you do that, man? At least give us like a week or two for us to like catch up on it before you like make a meme on it.
You got it's the
Think quick,
cycle
innit?
of it, man. They're making the memes as the episodes are airing. That's how fast they are.
They're probably like, they go, oh, that was interesting. And they're like already on Photoshop making this thing. Oh my god.
And another thing I like is all the incest.
Um,
That's all fun.
Yeah.
Like when she like fucks her uncle, like, woo.
I didn't woo. I was like,
and then
oh
they
my
get
god,
married.
why?
I'm like, yeah.
What do you want from Game of Thrones?
That's what you want. It is.
That's. But I think that's part of the reason my mum doesn't like it because I'll be like, oh, that Game of Thrones. She goes, oh, that's the one where like
That's her
the
uncle, isn't
family's
it?
fucked,
Yeah,
don't they?
That's what the Targaryens were, though, in those books. They're like inbreds.
Who was it in Game of Thrones that did that?
Cersei Lannister
Yeah.
and Jaime
Oh, it was the
Lannister.
Lannisters, right? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
No, because they got form in it. Like Game of Thrones has form of incest for some.
You got that brothel
Bizarre
scene in one of the
reason,
earlier
yeah.
episodes where he takes her to a brothel, start making out. It was like
That
feral.
oh yeah, that actually like made my body like transport out of my like. Oh my god, I hated it.
Yeah, hate it, but you love to see it. It's what you want from this show. I want more of it. Oh dear. Yeah, love it. Should we rate this?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, what do we want to rate it out of, by the way?
Do it out of
Dragons.
Sure.
Oh, go on then. Give me
Yeah.
a good dragon.
Yeah, this was really, really great, I think.
Yeah.
What?
No, carry on.
I don't really have anything like bad to say about it. I think it's like pretty much perfect so far. So I give it like 10 dragons out of 10, I think.
Yeah. I don't think it's perfect. I mean, I was still like really engaged with it though, and I would watch it again like in a heartbeat. I gave it an 8 originally. I think we'll probably just bump it up to a 9. Fuck it. Like, I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time. There's really not that much criticism to level against it. I think they'll probably go to more places in the next season or whatever, and introduce more pieces. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see how it all develops. It's great TV. It's really great.
I don't have any complaints that are major enough to warrant anything less than a 10 dragons out of 10.
Nice.
I loved it.
Cool.
Oh my god, how long have we been? God.
Now we're getting on to 3 movies that we watched. This is the reason this podcast exists. Because one day we all bought movies from fucking CEX for 50 pence, and those movies were The Prince and the Surfer, The Polar Bear King, and Paranormal Ascendancy. And we thought, oh, what better way to bring in episode 100 than to put ourselves through these movies once more.
Well,
the movies that defined us as people, really.
Except me, because I haven't watched
Darcy
any of
didn't
them.
choose any movies, but me and Chris did. So we watched them, and now we needed to show you these movies. They're very important movies to us. So
Yeah, one of them's like on display on our bookshelf.
Arguably the hilariousness of
anyway, kick it off, Chris.
Yeah, so the one I've got on display and the one that I picked was The Prince and the Surfer, directed by Aya Gross and Gregory Giras.
What name?
The film is basically just the Prince and the Pauper story. The classic story of a prince and a peasant who look identical and swap places for the day, but it's set in Southern California. You got Prince Edward of Gelfland, who comes to California, and you got Cash Canty, who is like a skateboard guy.
No,
Apparently he's a surfer, but he doesn't surf at all. He just rides a skateboard around. And they swap places, and that's kind of the movie.
There is no surfing in this movie.
There is surfing.
He doesn't surf.
But he
He's
doesn't
not
do
a
it.
surfer.
His dad doesn't.
Yeah.
Because he's a skater, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he talks about surfing at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
He comes home to his dad, Lowe's, having breakfast, and he's like, yeah, I hit some sick waves this morning. But you never actually see him surf.
You never see him hit the sick waves. This is a really great movie. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It is terrible. Like, it's genuinely
it's
terrible.
awful, yeah.
Let's get this out of the way. It looks like shit. The writing is terrible. The CGI is abysmal, and fucking just everything about it sucks.
But that's what makes it great.
It's so funny. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. It's like, it's just, I don't know what it is about it. It's just so perfectly bad.
It has what I like to call the Room quality of bad, where it's like,
This is better than The Room.
it's like, what's the word? It's so incompetent that it becomes somewhat competent again.
But the thing is, I don't even know if I'd say it's like super incompetent. I just kind of say it's just a bland, like rushed kids movie.
Yeah.
Like there's like millions of movies that are basically the exact same of this, but there's just something about it.
It doesn't have the same quality, right? There's something magical about this movie.
There's something magical about this movie.
And if you can, watch this movie somewhere.
I don't know if it's just like because of like the situation of us watching it originally, but I've got like just such a huge love for this movie now.
Yeah.
Like anytime I watch it, I've watched it a few times now, and I just like get so nostalgic every time.
You freak.
It's got it proudly displayed on this bookshelf over here. When my parents come down next, they're going to be like, what is this movie that you've got here? And I'll say,
be
it's art.
Gather round, it's time to watch it.
I bet they would actually. I bet if I put it on, they'd be like,
Nobody would get it though. I don't know.
No. I think maybe it's just like one of those. Maybe it's just one of those like in memes, you know, like
you got it though, right? You understood the potential.
Oh, it's absolutely hilarious. Like, but because I don't have any attachment to this in the terms of I hadn't seen it before. First off, I didn't do this on the OG run of the SMM and its birthing origins or whatever. But somehow the magic rubbed off, right? Because it was funny as fuck. I don't know. There's something about this. I don't know. It's magic. It's just a magical movie about a boy who plays himself. It's so dumb. It's such a dumb film. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just so dumb that it won me over. But I really love dumb shit films. So
Yeah, and
maybe,
this is definitely that.
Maybe. All three of these were dumb shit films, to be fair.
Yeah, this might be the dumbest, shittest one, but
But it was
that's
also
not,
the funniest,
but it's,
possibly.
It is the funniest, I think. It rarely dips for me. I'm always loving it. I'm like, shit, it sucks.
Yeah, like it sucks, but you're still invested in it. You're still
Like,
watching
what's
it.
all this bullshit? Like, he's turning, like, fucking Robert Englund is in this, the guy who played Freddy Krueger. He's giving it his fucking all. He's doing, like, a brilliant job.
Because
He's,
he
like,
wants
acting his heart out.
Golfland.
He wants to turn Gelfland into Golfland.
Why is it called Gelfland?
He's like, I have a plan, and he brings out this fucking like paper. He's like, he flips the paper. He's like, a Golfland. It's like, what? That's hilarious.
He wants to turn this country of Gelfland into a full-on golfing resort.
So
He's
turn it all
working
into
with
mini
this
golf.
he's working with like this leisure like play company, and he's like planning on selling the rights to Gelfland or something. And he likes tricking the prince and the queen into signing it so he can, get paid.
It's
Like,
bullshit.
it's so
He
fun.
knows that the prince and the surfer have swapped places, but he's still like, hey, Cash, I need you to sign this document for me as the prince so that like I can get Golfland realized. But it's like, if you know he's not the prince though, so like if you didn't even need the prince in the first place, the only similarity is that he looks like him. So like, why couldn't you have just signed it yourself if you're just gonna get somebody else to do it anyway?
It
makes no sense.
I don't think there's a lot about this movie that actually like makes sense. But that's another thing that I like about it is the fact that because none of it really makes sense. There's like no consequences for anything. It's like they can do this dumb stupid thing because it's like it's just a dumb stupid fucking movie. Like, do what you want. I don't know. I like that. It's just like, okay.
You got the prince who wants to be out in America, and they've taken him to America, to California, to see all the sights. And he's like, I want to see the sights. I want to be real American boy. And they're like, you can't be real American boy, Edward. You have to. We're going to take a drive. And then they take him on a fucking drive. He's not even allowed to see America. Like, not even slightly.
like,
The windows are blacked out from the inside. He can't even see out. It's like, what's even the point? Why are you taking this drive in the first place?
It was like he could have just gone for a drive anywhere in the world.
It was like Roman holiday.
Yeah.
If she didn't see anything. I love to swap places with this surfer who looks like me. And I love that they're trying to act like each other. But like, at no point does he go, I'm Cash, so I should act like Edward. He's just doesn't care. He just acts like himself.
Yeah.
Even though he really wants to try to fit in as Edward, or and vice versa.
They don't even change their accents.
No, it doesn't even change that. Don't even try. He's nobody even questions it either. Like the people who work for the prince, they're like, oh, I guess he's just different now, and he acts like a skateboard bro. He's like, what? You never you never played a game before or whatever. He's throwing a bunch of bullshit around. He goes that girl who's engaged to be married to Edward. She just doesn't care that he acts completely different now, or has a different accent.
Yeah.
And he's like, engaged to be married? That doesn't sound right. That's fucking bullshit. And she's like, yeah, it is kind of. I know, right? I'm like, well, wouldn't you be like, you already knew that though? Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
I do like these kids that are just legally obligated to fuck.
Yeah.
Pretty horrible.
Why did you say it like that?
That's what it is.
No,
They're
Chris.
like, you know what?
Was like,
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Oh dear.
Freak.
And just, they fall in love with each other's girls. You got Velma, who's Cash's mate and fucking this other girl who's engaged or betrothed to Edward, and they like fall in love with each other's girlfriends. It's like,
I don't remember.
and
her
then
name.
Cash's dad falls in love with the Queen because he's like, I'm a security guard, I'm gonna show you mini golf. She's like, what is mini golf? And they fucking go on this fucking weird montage of being playing mini golf while romantic music plays. It's like, this is insane. All the scenes with the dad were gold. Were fucking gold. He's like the security guard at the palace or whatever, and then like he goes into a room for lunch or whatever, and like these guys who hired him are there and they're in suits. It's like fucking Twin Peaks with the fucking music playing. It's weird as hell.
And like just the general vibe, like they're talking, it's like meant to be really comedic, and like they're acting really awkwardly. It's like it feels like stripped directly from an episode of Twin Peaks.
That was
great.
like one of the weirdest scenes as well.
I'm pretty sure the director played Aya Ghost plays one of those guys as well.
Yeah. He did a great job. Everyone's doing a great job here.
We've also got the iconic Hey Cash scene.
Hey Cash, we really adopted that into our vernacular since watching this movie for the first time. The dad says, he like turns around as Cash is leaving the house. He's like, hey Cash. He doesn't say anything to him. He just flips him like a gang sign, or like the finger sign, or like he puts his thumb out and his smallest finger out, and he's like, and he shakes them, like, you know, that emoji or like that pose, or like, you know, and we just do that now all the time. But like other people do it, and I'm like, you don't know what that means though. Like, it's about Hey Cash, and he does the gang sign. His dad does the gang sign for him.
What if people
Everyone's watched this movie.
do know what it
Like,
is?
everyone's watched Friends in a Circle.
Everyone's just
And
too
they all
ashamed
know,
to say
yeah.
that they've watched it, so
Ah,
everyone's
yeah.
doing it, but no one's talking about it. It's like the unwritten rule, like, oh, you know the Hey Cash thing,
You know, Hey Cash,
but
right?
you don't want to talk about it.
I have to say, like, every time I see a photo, I'm like commenting like, "Hey Cash, you're that from this movie, right?" That's a mainstay within our group now. We just do that. This movie has affected us on such a level.
Yes, because it's integrated into their everyday life. It's bizarre. It's strange.
You got to thank the movie for that.
I love that everyone from Gelfland has an American accent except for Edward, who's British for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. That is weird. It's like, why does his mother have the different accent? And like, you could make the case that like they imported these people from another land, and that's why they're all American. But like the Queen has an American accent, so like, why doesn't Edward have an American accent? A poor English accent, as much as he is doing that, but it's like still his accent. And then Cash comes in, he's like, I don't even care. I'm Cash.
Yeah.
You might as well have just said, I'm Cash.
Yeah, I am not this
Didn't
man.
make any attempt to seem like him at all.
I'm assuming it's just like to differentiate them slightly.
Yeah,
So you
probably.
can tell the difference. I gotta give it to the guy. He's, like, his performance isn't very good, but he does actually play two different characters, and it does feel like two different characters.
Yeah, he does an accent and everything.
No, I just mean like even in like the line deliveries and everything. I just feel like and like their mannerisms, the way they move, they do feel like two completely different characters.
I do. I'll give it to him.
Yeah, that's
I like
true.
him. I
As
think he's good. I
hilariously
think he's
bad
very
as it
good.
is, yeah.
I always like when they like stand the two characters next to each other and they have to like split the screen and they have to merge two shots into each other, but there's so clearly a line going down the middle of the screen where they've had to like superimpose one shot next to another. It's so fucking funny. Oh dear. One of the lines that really stands out to me, and I think it's just like ingrained in my brain forever, is like when Cash meets the prince, he like goes in and he's like, oh, because he's like fawning after the princess, and he's like, oh, by the way, you're High Royal Prince Guy, you wouldn't happen to know which suite the princess is staying in. Oh, why is that so good? Oh dear. You know that guy who's like in his car and like Cash is like having a go at him, and he's like he's on his skateboard and Cash is like, hey, you drive a car, and he's like, the guy in the car's like, at least I don't have to push it with my feet to make it go. I'm like, that's what a car is, man.
You push a pedal. Yeah, you literally push a pedal with your feet. I spent like 5 minutes like just unpicking this argument. Like, it doesn't make sense.
You've also got that scene where like Edward accidentally runs into this guy who's getting into his car or something.
That's what I thought Max was talking about.
Linda appears out of nowhere and they're like skating down this hill. It seems that scene only exists to show off her arse as she goes down this hill.
Yeah. Were you going to complain about that?
I don't know. How old was she at this point?
We'll look it up and then we'll decide whether we complain about it. Yeah, that was fucking weird. Like, oh, Jesus. Oh, dear. I like right at the end. So, like, the credits go. And all of a sudden, there's just a guy narrating what happened to the characters, but he does it in the stupidest fucking goofy accent going. They're like, what the fuck? Like, and then you know what else happened is Cash's dad and the queen get married. How about that, huh? Woo! It's like, this is great. This slaps. This is so good. There was like, so we got the DVD and there was like trailers.
Oh my god, I forgot
There were
about
trailers
this
on the
bit.
DVD for different movies. Came out in like different sorts of years. I don't know if they even came out all in the same year, really. But what the fuck?
Oh, they were
What the
amazing.
fuck? They show like full nudity in one of those trailers. I'm like, okay, this
there was a lot
this
of tit.
movie,
Yeah.
fucking The Prince and the Surfer. This is a PG. You can't show full nudity
Yeah,
on
the
a trailer.
DVD's a
and
PG as well.
DVD. Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The trailers were great though. They were so good. It was like a little aperitif, before the movie starts. It's like, here's a little taster of the kind of fuckery you're in for.
Oh, it was great. All 4 of them were amazing in their own way.
Got to track them down.
Dude, that's a marathon in and of itself.
I know one of them, Rising Storm, is on Prime, so we've got to watch that.
Oh my
We're gonna
god,
watch
that's it.
Rising
That is
Storm.
it. You settled it.
Oh, dear. Should we
I think we should
get on to something else then? Or
yeah,
are we done talking about this movie?
You guys have spoken about
Yeah,
it
This is
already.
this is a long episode.
Yeah, come on.
What are we rating out of? High Royal Prince, guys? Whether it is.
High Royal Prince. Yeah, fine. Fuck it. If you remembered it, you can say it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course it is.
Oh my god.
So yeah, like in terms of enjoyment, this is like easy 10. If I was had to be like critical, this is like
You don't have to.
2 High Royal Prince guys out of 10. It's not a good movie, but I love it so much.
Oh,
It's so much fun.
This is one of the best movies ever made. I love it. This is one of my favourite movies ever. 10 High Royal Prince guys out of 10. It's amazing. Watch
Do you know
it.
what? I also am going to give it a 10 High Royal Prince Men Guy things out of 10.
Awesome. Okay, next one. I bought a DVD called The Polar Bear King, and we watched it. It's from 1991. It's directed by Ola Salam. In some places it says it's directed by Robert Benton, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, on the DVD it says Robert Benton, but
Yeah, insane.
he's a completely unrelated
not
guy.
that.
Had
It's
nothing
not.
to do with the movie.
And it's in the movie.
No, on the DVD.
Yeah.
The DVD that Max got, it says directed by Robert Benton.
It's pretty fun. Pretty fun to kind of decipher it.
Hmm.
It's one of the great decipherable movies. This movie is about King Valamon and like this girl who he fucks. He's transformed into a polar bear by a witch, and he's like, oh fuck. So he's got to go out, get the bride, who's this woman, what's her face, and he like takes her away. He's like, I'm taking you away. Here's my castle, and he's not allowed to like see her, or he like puts her in the castle, and he's like, I'm a bear, but also when night comes, I am a man. and they have sex when he's a man or whatever, and she has kids, and then like the witch, like she's like, give me your kids, and his mum is like a ghost, and she like takes the kids and makes them ghosts or whatever, and it's just that. That's what it is.
Yeah.
One of the movies of all time.
I actually thought this film was boring as shit.
Yeah, it's really fucking boring.
Yeah, it is.
The first like 45 minutes, like the first half of it is hilarious. It's so funny. And then
really goofy,
it's just like suddenly just gets really dull.
Yeah. Like immediate. It's not even like
Yeah.
gradual. It just flicks and it's like, this is boring now.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as like they actually like she goes on like an actual quest to go save the king, that's when it's just shit after that. It's just not fun.
Yeah, like it really dragged on as well, and I thought, oh, this ain't quite the Prince and the Surfer, is it? To be honest,
it really took a dip.
Yeah, like the whole night just went from like amazing to shit in like 0.5. It's just incredibly awful.
But hey, for what it's worth, that first half hour, perfect.
I was laughing like quite a lot. To be honest, probably only the first 15 minutes or so, but I was also doing something at the same time.
They did what they did with a lot of Dario Argento's movies, like Suspiria, where they got actors from different countries to like perform in their own native tongue and then overdub them depending on the country it came out in. So like the English dub is just absolutely hilarious most of the time, especially with her dad. Yeah. He's just like, he's so bad.
He's great. He's awesome. I love him. He can speak to the birds. He like goes out and he's like,
not very
crows,
well.
The crows are trying to tell me something. Like that guy who like comes to his castle or whatever and he's like, I hope my friends, the wolves, treated you kindly. And he's like, yeah, they did. He's like, good. They obey me, as do all my subjects.
And that was like directly after a scene while like of them getting chased by wolves and them like throwing a stick with fire on it at one of them, killing him.
Yeah, really gets straight into it.
Yeah, it's a little bit unhinged, to be honest.
It is funny for like the first, but then like it does just take a dip, and I think what elevates the movie for me is like this guy in a bear costume, and like every line he has is like strangled. Who's like talking about like.
So
what did
janky.
she say? She like sees the bear and she like goes, "Why are you sad?" He goes, "Because I'm not a polar bear. I'm the king." He talks like that. It sounds like the guy is being tortured. It's so funny.
The bear is like, it's done by the Jim Henson Company as well.
Yeah,
It's like the creepiest little bear.
They had like an actual like company that normally do really good like puppetry and stuff, and it just looks like absolute shit. It looks so cheap.
It looks like a student made it.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Like the sequence where the polar bear goes to like take her from the like little like village, and like all the villagers like have got these barricades and they're like trying to get him with spears, and the polar bear's like whacking at the barricades. It's so
a
funny.
village full of people can't kill one polar bear.
That's probably the funniest bit in the movie, where the like polar bear's arms are like flailing all over the place as it tries to get him.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah. It is funny. It's really funny. It's
funny.
horrifying.
Yeah, it's like
the
funny.
The costume is
not.
the puppet or whatever. Fucking horrible. Horrible to look at. Horrible to hear. This fucking strangled, garbled noises that he's making. Oh, it's horrible. You kind of wish that's all it was, but then it keeps going. I don't know.
You got like the witch, who's the bad guy, is like basically like a Power Rangers villain. Shows up at one point with these huge horns on her head, and she looks like the main villain from Power Rangers.
Yeah, she's great. Oh dear. Yeah, she was weird. I don't know. She's got like this spell on him. He's like, okay, like what are you up to? You just got to like wait for like a few months, Is
Like
that
7 years.
7 years? Yeah, and then but then like it is like a few more months. Like when he gets the girl, and he's like, "Now you gotta wait a few more months. You can't look at me when I'm the prince, because then the spell will be broken." And she like does it anyway, even though she knows that's what's gonna happen. And he's like he sees her and he's like, "Oh fuck's sake, don't you know that in 3 months the spell would have been broken? Now I have to marry the witch." He just leaves. He just leaves her. Like,
Well, he was
okay.
pretty pissed off. I think I would have been pissed off too.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you know that? You should have known that.
Then she like goes to the witch's like lair, and to get there she has to like walk up this wall, and she has these like magic shoes that like attach to the surface, and it's clear that they've literally just put the camera at an angle as she's just walked down like a patch of concrete.
It was great. It was great, the magic shoes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I actually enjoyed the witch's lair where she's got like these, she's like making this potion and she's putting her hand over these stones and they're all lighting up. I actually think that's pretty sick.
The production is actually fucking good. Where it fails is like in its execution, like the writing sucks and all that. But the production wise, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like a lot of crazy sets and
Yeah, I
like
guess
interesting costumes that they're actually going
It's
on
a
with.
visually good film.
Yeah.
But for
I think
me,
it was
that's
like
kind of where it
funded by like
stops.
their government or whatever. It was like they had some backing behind it. So like, yeah, it's not like
Sure, yeah.
a piss poor movie forever. You know, it's like actually, it's got production behind it. You can tell.
Yeah. The devil shows up in it at one point.
Yeah, it's just like really, I don't know. Ah, it's me.
Just a guy.
Yeah, he's just like a dude.
Looks like the singer Frank Turner.
Yeah. Maybe it is.
Maybe.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, there's not that much to actually say about it.
No.
Yeah, not really. You like that line where she says, "Remember, dear, too much evil destroys evil."
Yeah.
I'm like puzzled. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
What
They
does-
make like the
yeah.
potion to put like, and they like pass it off as wine, like bad potion that's gonna kill all these things. It literally just looks like a jar of piss.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It literally looks
And
like
she like
piss.
accidentally drops it from this tower, and this guy who's like helping her catches it, and suddenly like all his hair turns white, and they never explain it. He just like laughs it off, and then it cuts to the next scene.
That's what happens when you catch piss at high velocity. Cool. We're rating this then.
Yeah,
We'll do it out of
Robert Benton.
Robert Benton's. Sure, fuck it.
Yeah, this is like, it's really boring, but there is like some actual production value to it. It's not the worst made movie in the world. Just like there's like millions and millions of films better than this, I think. I give it like 2 Robert Bentons out of 10.
Yeah, 2 Robert Bentons out of 10. I wanted to like it more. I wanted to laugh at it more, but it's once it hits that fucking like half-hour mark, it just plummets. Sadly.
1. There you go. Just 1.
All right,
I've forgotten what's happening.
Robert Benton.
That Robert guy, who might not even be the
Cool.
director of this movie. Poor Robert.
So the last movie, Darcy didn't pick. This
No.
was picked by former podcast host Connor. But
God.
since he's not here, Darcy, you can explain what this movie is and is about.
The fuckery of this film. Depending on where you are, it's either called Paranormal Ascendancy or 3 AM. Directed by Sidney Manser Winters.
Credited in the movie is just Mansa.
Yes, it's just Manser in the movie, and that part was unintentionally fucking hilarious for some reason. Letterboxd has given this really long and complicated overview of it, but essentially it's supposed to be inspired by true events. True events of what I do not know. Michael's friend Kenny reveals that he has a ghost living in his room, and it comes out at 3 AM every night, so he invites his mate over to go and see this ghostly shit that's going down. He touches this goop that's in the carpet, and then all of a sudden shit goes awry. I'll be honest, I don't really know what the plot of this film is, other than it's just chaos and it's hilarious. I don't.
Yeah, this
like,
movie has everything.
I don't
Yeah,
really
it really
understand.
does.
It's got comedy, it's got horror, it's got action,
Romance.
it's got romance.
It's so confusing.
It's a multi-layered movie.
It's
really
an onion
is.
movie. It has me lost. Well,
So what did you think about it, Darcy? Considering you've only seen it the one time.
so can we just preface this by saying that this is the first time I've ever seen it, right? Me and Chris took a trip to Gosport to pick
Oh
up
my
this
god, yeah,
fucking
you got to tell
movie.
that story.
We got on a ferry.
Okay, Darcy's incapable of saying this story, apparently. So, Connor's kept the DVD. We were trying to get it off him. He said he'd try and find it, but we saw on CEX they had it in the Gosport one. So we thought, oh, fuck it, we'll just go there. We'll get it there. It'll
It's
just
been
save
a while
bit of time.
since like he even picked that DVD up, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm
we've-
thinking he probably doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah. But to get to Gosport, you have to get a ferry over there. It's only like £4.50, so it could be worse.
It's the fact that we got off.
So we got a ferry over there. It felt like we'd gone back in time to like the early 2000s because like everything looks so outdated. It was a really gloomy day, so it made it just look even shitter.
I am so
It
sorry
was
for
like
anyone
the
that lives in.
grossest place. It was so grubby.
It was like. So when I was walking through, I was like, "Oh man, all this, like when when a brand like rebrands, and then you get like the new sign and the new merchandise and shit." I walked past the Holland and Barrett, and I was like, "That thing looks like it's about
Yeah.
10 years old." And Max was like, "It's only been there."
Every other shop is like the like signs and stuff look like they haven't been updated in about 20 years.
Mm-hmm. I've
there's-
been to Gosport a fair few times. I had to go there a lot because my ex lived there, so like I'm very familiar with the goings on around Gosport. I knew that you guys going there and you hadn't been there before was just gonna.
I'd been there before,
yeah.
just not in like 10 years.
Yeah, not recently, but I was like, this is gonna be an experience, especially for Darcy.
I've literally never
Yeah.
been there before, and when we were coming back, I said to Chris, "I am never going there."
There was like barely any shops even open as well. Like so
Yeah.
many of them were like
Like shut down.
shut down permanently. And even like then there was like barely anything just generally. I was even surprised there was
God.
a CEX.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I
there was no
actually-
like convenience shops. There was no like Tesco or Sainsbury's or
Like-
anything like that.
There's a Morrison's. They got a Morrison's there.
Do they?
Oh, I didn't see
Oh,
when
we
we went
didn't
out
see
there.
it.
They
Yeah.
didn't go
Like,
far enough.
no,
Nah.
apparently not. I
We
mean,
saw Premier,
I am
Pound Stretcher.
so sorry
That was
for
about
everyone
it.
Travel Lodge.
who
Oh, yeah,
lives
there was
there.
Travel
Oh my
Lodge.
god.
There's an Argos there.
Yeah.
There
There
is
was
an
an
Argos,
Argos. Yeah. Oh man, it was an experience, and there was a guy in the in the Pound Stretcher who I don't know, maybe he'd just never spoken to another human in about 50 years, but he was like, "I love your jumper. God, I went to download the other year," and I was just like, "Yeah." I fucking hate Gospels.
It's definitely you have to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
It's not real.
It's like
I
the movie.
refuse
It's
to
like this movie.
I refuse to
I
believe
think
it's real,
it's like
man.
it's very apt that you went there to get this movie
Yeah.
And the fact that we
and
went
spent maybe a grand total of about 10 quid to get it.
Yeah, it
overall.
was like a £5 each.
Yeah.
We went over there just to get this fucking movie, and the movie.
Yeah. We went into CEX. I did like the click and collect thing just in case.
Insane.
Just so, because I didn't want to like go over there and then spend like half an hour trying to find
Yeah.
it. So I'd rather like do click and collect,
If
and then
someone
at
else is
least
gonna
if
nab
they
your-
didn't find it, at least I'd know they don't actually have it,
Mhm.
rather than spend £4.50
Yeah.
for nothing.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I got over there. They gave it to me, and Darcy just burst out laughing in the middle of the shop.
It was just the most ridiculous thing. Like, we travelled back in time to the early 2000s to pick up this fucking DVD that no one knows anything about.
Yeah. This is like, it's really hard to find this film.
Yeah.
There are so
You can
many
get-
reasons
You can
for
get
that,
it on
probably.
DVD, but that's literally the only way to get
And
it.
yet, amazingly, we've found 2 separate copies of this DVD
within like 20 miles.
20
of-
miles
Yeah,
of one another
it's-
within this over the span of 2 years.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy.
Man, that's so...
Because like I'm pretty sure this is like just like a student film or something.
Smacks of it.
Oh,
It's like-
it does.
It feels like a film that just a bunch of friends got together and made with like they've never made anything before. They were just like, yeah, fuck it, we can do this. And somehow it's been like published by an actual DVD publisher
Yeah.
to
Multiple
the point where
times.
enough copies exist where it's like 50p or £1 in CEX. For that to happen, you have to
amongst
have
our
like
collective
thousands
friend
of
group,
copies.
we own most of the copies of this movie.
So if
We're out on the hunt for them.
Sydney's listening.
Well, I went on Amazon to see how much it was, and like, there's 2 different releases of it.
Yeah, it's like £27 as
Really?
well.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one that has the 18 classification on it, and another one that has 15, which is what it actually is.
It's also under 2 different names though, isn't it? So I suppose that also doesn't help.
So yeah, student film. It's hard to really criticize it majorly, at least not in the same way you criticize something
Like a big budget, yeah.
that
it's not
had
fair.
a bit more of a budget.
Yeah.
It's clear they don't have all that much money, like really any money at all. Maybe like a tiny little bit. But try and put together here.
I assume this film was probably made on a budget of like $200 or something.
I think you have to criticize this in like the same way you'd criticize something like Birdemic,
Maybe.
where that is like a
I feel like
really
Birdemic has
like
more money behind
incompetent like film, but it's because it's made by people who probably don't know any better and or don't
Yeah.
have the means to do any better.
Yeah, I think okay, so we can not judge it too harshly, but also remind ourselves that this is a film that someone tried to make.
Well, I'm just gonna say, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, it's
I love it so much.
it's dog
I would
shit, but
go
I
as
also
far as
love
to
it.
say it is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Perhaps,
yeah.
maybe on like a base level, but I really was thinking like it's a toss up between this and The Last Airbender for me personally, because I think
I've not seen
with
it and I
what
refuse.
that movie tried to do with the budget it had, there's no reason it should have failed as miserably as it did.
Is it
this
really
fails
that bad?
because they have no budget and they don't know what they're doing. I can almost sort of slightly forgive it for that.
You have to, don't you? You kind of have to, like, yeah.
But
when
on
you
the
have
other
a budget
hand,
of the, yeah.
I can
No.
film something on my phone in 10 minutes and it would be better than this.
Yeah, when was it? Did you say this was made?
2008.
Yeah.
There is no
I
excuse for
could
it
have
to
filmed
look as
something on a
bad as it
camcorder. I
did.
was filming shit on a camcorder.
Yeah.
Just bullshit. And it was better filmed than this. It
Yeah.
was better, like, even structured than this.
Yeah, I feel like did no one own like the current iPhone at that point? Because I swear there was one in existence.
Yeah, but you couldn't really film anything of any quality back then. It was clearly like they bought like digital cameras and were filming on that. I think they probably used the camera microphones for most of it as
Probably.
well, because it does.
Yeah,
it
actually,
sounds
maybe.
really bad. There's multiple bits where like characters will shout or something, and like it like distorts.
Oh yeah, like the mixing of the like you can hear music more than you can actually hear anyone speaking.
There's multiple scenes where characters will be talking and they'll say something and they won't actually say anything, just their mouth will move.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't hear it at all. And what makes it worse is that it's obviously because of what it is has no subtitles, so you're struggling the whole film, going, "What the fuck are they
Yeah,
saying?"
That's what makes it great, I think.
what that
If
is
it had, like, because it's just so, like, you can't understand a word these people are saying. It's like a fever dream. It's like walking into a nightmare. it's like,
Yeah.
If you could hear every word they were saying, it might even diminish the experience. It's like, what the fuck are they even
Maybe.
talking about? This is not like. It's so poorly made.
Yeah,
it's so poorly made. I'm not even saying that as like a bad, like. I don't really want to dig on it. Even.
No, but it's just it's the fact, isn't it? It's not. We're not criticizing
No,
it at
yeah.
this point. This is just factual information. It was
I love that it
probably
exists.
made
I
on a
honestly
budget
do.
of nothing.
Because I have yet to find a movie that tops this in terms of just like level of.
Incompetency.
Yeah, I
Let's
don't
be
think
honest.
there's a single thing this film actually does well.
No,
They just about managed to turn the camera on.
pretty much.
Like,
There's no color correction.
Yeah, it's quite
There's no
cruel, but it's true.
mixing.
What do you mean there's no color correction? There's that whole sequence where they go to the blue land where
You call that correct?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they
I
definitely-
don't get that
They
either.
did something to the camera.
It just looks like they filmed it through dishwater.
Yeah.
Like, all of it.
Yeah,
It's so grubby.
I reckon they probably just put one of those gels on the front of the camera lens and went, "This is
it
Blue
looks
Land."
so,
now.
but you can't even read the credits on the screen when they're like at the beginning, when there's just like actor credits flashing on the screen, or like the crew.
It reminds me.
Who is that? I don't know. Like it's so low quality.
Yeah, like it reminds me of when you know, when someone gives you a picture and they want you to print it out, but they haven't converted the file or done the pixels properly, so it prints out and it's literally almost like illegible. That is what that credit sequence was like. It was like someone had blown up the text to a million, so you can't read it, and it moves around, and then some of the font is different to the rest of the title sequence, and it just swaps like that, and it just makes no sense. Easier to read the second half, but still didn't make any sense. And why? God, there's so much about this film that's just like, it was like, I don't know if it was, I know it wasn't meant to be that bad, but it's unintentionally so funny for so many.
They got a lot of people
reasons.
Involved in it, clearly.
Yeah.
I think like the Blue Land is hilarious, man.
Oh, the where everyone's
It's
just like
clearly
longing
like
out.
they've just like gone to the edge of like a forest clearing or something, or like just like here are a bunch of trees. It's like broad daylight, but they've like drowned it, like really desaturated it, or like they just put like a blue filter on it, made everything really dark, and like because they couldn't go out at night or something. Like
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
dark. It's the blue dark land. It's like the demon realm. They're like trying to summon demons.
Yeah.
And like when they get trapped in there, they're like going around. There's like people walking around who have like nothing going on inside their brains, and they're like, "Where am I? Tell me where I am!" And they're just like,
This is what Hellraiser wishes it was.
Yeah.
it's like there's a
This is
scene in
her Blue
fucking
Land.
Avatar, I think, when like, well, in Avatar: The Legend of Aang, where like, he like goes to like the spirit realm, and he like goes into like this like place where like all these lost souls are, and he's trying to talk to them, but they won't talk to him. It was like that. If
Yeah.
it was done completely wrong.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Everything like kind of like all the scenes kind of feel like they just made them up as they went along. It doesn't really feel like
Yeah.
there was an actual like script. And they try and add this like convoluted like plot about like this twin flame. It's like basically like they explain it as it's like the same as soulmates, but it's so much deeper. It's like two people who share the same soul, and if they meet,
Oh, twin flames or whatever. Yeah.
twin flames, and if they meet, their love is like so strong it's undefeatable. And that's kind of like how they like win the movie. Is like he has to find the twin flame, which is his ex-girlfriend that he broke up with because she was going to college or something. But then like she lives like there.
Yeah, down the road.
He like goes to
Just
visit
see
her. So,
Yeah, I didn't
Just goes to see
understand
her.
that, yeah.
Oh man, it's so funny. They film like flashback scenes or like memories, I think, and like it's so clear they just fucking smeared a bunch of fucking Vaseline on the camera and filmed it. It looks so awful.
yeah, they were going for like the picnic at Hanging Rock effect.
Yeah,
Oh, but it looks so.
just caked it on. No,
Yeah.
but because like they're not using professional camera equipment like they were in that movie, it looks like dishwater.
Yeah.
It looks so bad.
That same like flashback sequence where it goes back to like him and his girlfriend breaking up, they just randomly start playing Sum 41. And it's like very obvious that they don't have the budget to like afford these songs. Superstition by Stevie Wonder plays at the end as well.
Flagrant use of just unlicensed
Yeah.
music.
Unless that's why
Or
it's
licensed music.
so low budget, because they just spent it all on those songs.
Like Sean Kingston. I don't think they did.
No, they definitely didn't.
They just used them. They were like, I like this song.
It doesn't seem like anyone sued him yet, so.
Probably because no one's watched it.
Yeah.
We're probably the only people who've watched this movie.
Good.
Well, that can't be true, because I saw reviews on Amazon saying how shit the film
No, yeah, that's true. I mean, there's only like 3 other reviews of it on Letterboxd.
Yeah, but I think the hilarious thing, right, is people on Amazon probably confusing this for the other paranormal sort of activity movies,
That's
right?
why it's called
Yeah.
Paranormal
Right.
Ascendancy.
And then you got people going, don't waste your £27. I can't believe I paid this much for this movie.
Yeah, I mean-
and we're here like 50p.
Well, you guys basically paid a tenner for it. It's
true.
Is ascendancy a word?
I think so.
Must
Shall I
be.
look it up?
What do you mean it must be?
Can you just?
I
make
think
up-
the name, like, I don't think it actually, like,
It
I
is a
don't think
word.
the
It's a
director
noun.
had anything to do with the name. I feel like that was probably, like, tacked on by whoever put it out on DVDs.
Yeah, probably. Occupation of a position of dominant power or influence.
Thank
Cool.
you for that posh
Thanks.
computer voice.
Because this, like, obviously it came out the same year as Paranormal Activity,
Mm-hmm.
and you get, like, it was, like, during the period where there was loads of, like, mockbusters and shit coming out, just loads of rip-offs, loads of studios who would just, like, buy slightly similar movies and, like, put them out with a similar name. So
Ratatouille.
I imagine that's what's happened with this.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
And
Probably.
the DVD company were just looking around for a movie, and
Because
they
the
were just
cover
like, "Oh,
looks
yeah,
a
whatever."
lot like the first Paranormal Activity cover
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
it does.
So,
It's so funny
yeah,
though.
it's like
that cover
on
is
the nose,
hilarious.
yeah.
I had no clue what I was looking at until this time watching the movie, and it just showed up.
it's a really bad quality image as well. Like
Yeah.
to the point where, like, even I was looking at it like, oh, fucking.
You're like this guy, they're like in Kenny's fucking bedroom,
Yeah.
and they're like Kenny's standing there, also this other guy, and then like fucking some other guy who's like been possessed, but like he's like a glowing guy, and he's like crouched down and fucking reaching for that guy. It looks fucking weird as shit. It's all drowned in red. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Just that image alone, it lets you know exactly what you're in for.
I do love that first scene where he like goes to his place, like his room at 3 a.m. to see what the ghostly shit that's going on. And a lot of it is literally just like his his like radio like comes up saying like hello and goodbye and stuff like that.
Oh, the ghost is talking to me.
He's like, the floor's wet. The floor's wet, feel it. And he like puts his hand on the floor and suddenly he's got this like this weird
Gash,
mark on it.
Yeah, so just they like squirted like grey goo on like his hand. It looks gross. Like, oh my god, the floor's wet. Put your hand in it, man. Feel the goo. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
Just
why?
why would you, like a weird wet patch appears on your carpet? I don't know. Touch it. Fuck it.
Yeah, why
You
would
know?
you? Yeah. No
Why
one's
not?
instinct is to just touch it.
So many fucking good lines in this movie as well. So, like, just been seeing a lot of threes recently. Because the alternate name of this movie is 3 a.m. and they got to go to Kenny's at 3 a.m. to see the ghost or whatever. It's like, yeah, just been seeing a lot of threes recently.
And then throughout the movie, there's just like the number 3 just shows up loads, and it's hilarious every time.
Yeah, oh man. You got Gothic Girl who comes in when
Yeah.
they're trying to perform a sort of, they go to what's her face? It's like a, not a seance. It's the woman who reads tarot cards or whatever. And they're
Yeah,
like
like a psychic.
a psychic, yeah. And then like his friends have to like, what's this fucking guy's name? The main character?
Ah.
Michael?
I don't know, we'll call him Michael. And so he goes to this psychic, and then his friends are like waiting out in like the lobby area, and then a woman comes in who is credited as Gothic Girl, and she just sits down and like hisses at his friend. And then she goes, "Sorry, I meant shut the fuck up, bitch." And then the movie cuts to black. Like, out of nowhere. It just cuts to black, and then it comes back again, and like it's the
Yeah.
same
The
shot.
sound's still going and everything. It's just like they accidentally turned the video off for a second.
Maybe their camera died and they were like, oh shit, here we go.
Makes you think maybe they did have external mics. They just really didn't know how to use them.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like it was probably an editing
Yeah.
fault.
There's like
They made a mistake while editing and
Maybe,
couldn't be
yeah.
bothered to go back and fix it.
there's like that one scene where they're in a house and like a dad is there, and like he's like in the background, but you can hear him like crystal clear, and like the people in the foreground, you can't hear them like at all.
Yeah. There was definitely points where they did use external mics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a bit at the end where he like puts Kenny on the floor. He's like, hasn't killed him, but he's like passed out. He like stands over him and he's like speaking into a microphone, but it's like whispering.
Yeah.
But he's got the microphone right up against his mouth, so it's all like muffled, and there's the pops and shit.
They didn't know how to do it. It's just, that's what makes this movie great. They're trying to summon this demon called Aritanius, and they go to the Blue Land to like summon him, and he looks like fucking Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's fucking crazy. Like, why does he want to? Like, he just wants to like possess like this Jack guy.
Yeah.
And like Kenny wants to help him do that so he can like use Jack to kill a bunch of people for no reason.
Then there's like this scene in the Blue Land where this like thing is like chasing after him, and they're like running away, and then suddenly he'll like appear like he's Slenderman or something. Just like will appear, so they'll run in the opposite direction and he'll appear again. It goes on for like 5 minutes of just that.
Was that the same part where like they're like speaking and like, or no, I think it was like in a flashback scene where like he's with his girlfriend, but like, every time they speak, the mic also picks up the wind, and like when they stop speaking, like it just cuts out. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh dear, amazing stuff. I'm gonna read out some of my favorite lines as well. It was I used the intro. That was one of the lines from this movie. What is it? He says, I'll find your pen at some point. He's like, the main guy is like talking to his girlfriend, and he like brings her into his basement, which is clearly just like his basement with like a bunch of like sheets stapled to the walls, and on it says like Cafe Paris or something. And he's like, oh yeah, she says, how long did it take you to turn your basement into Cafe Paris? He says, not long. I was like, yeah, because it
just
looks
so
like
obvious,
shit.
yeah. It's literally just like a sheet,
I
isn't
made
it?
better like pillow forts when I was a child. Like, it
did
just
look like
looks
shit.
awful. There's just blankets everywhere. And obviously the great line, I'll find your pen at some point. Good, because I haven't been able to write anything for a long time. Like,
I don't know why that bit was so funny. I like the bit where he gives her back the pen. And it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, cool.
Here's your pen. I'm giving you back your pen. There's that part in like the memory scene where like it's all blurred, and like his girlfriend like puts sunglasses on him, and he says, if this is the last time I see you, I need to see you. And he takes his sunglasses off. Oh dear. It's so funny. It's so good.
I had life is full of important choices noted down.
Life is full of important choices, yeah. On his it was like his jacket, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We searched that up. Did we find it?
Yeah, we did.
Just found the jean jacket that he was wearing. Life is full of important choices, and it's like circled by like patches of motorcycles. Well, yeah. Life is full of important choices.
Do we have anything else? I think that might
Not
be
at
it.
all.
Oh, yeah, I think we're good. That's those movies then. So what are we gonna rate this one out of?
Gothic Girls.
Gothic Girls. Okay.
Yeah. This is definitely the worst movie I've ever seen. I don't really have anything else to say. Don't think I can even give it like an actual rating, because it's just like, what does it do well?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
they
think I'd
turned
give
on the camera at least.
Yeah, I think I'd like, actually have to give it like a 0. Like, I don't think it does anything competently.
Ouch.
Like, I can't even really credit it for turning on the camera, because clearly they don't even do that correctly. Because there's the scene where it cuts out.
Oh, man. Wow.
I love this movie. It's so fucking funny. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Chris, as soon as this movie finished, Chris put the DVD back in the case and fucking chucked it on his pile of movies to give away. Like, what are you doing? This is a relic. You spent fucking ages trying to get this, trying to procure this DVD.
We have to preserve the history of this movie.
I've seen it
Chris.
like 3 times. I can't do it again.
It's crazy. So I own that now. I own the DVD. Pride of Place in my home.
Yeah.
I'll give it what was it out of?
Gothic girls.
1 gothic girl out of 10.
Yeah, I can't be as harsh as Chris here. That is pretty bloody
Could be
terrible.
almost as harsh as Chris, but
I mean, the thing is though, like on an entertainment level, it was
class.
freaking hilarious.
Fucking
Like
class, yeah.
it was a 10 out of 10 movie.
barely a low moment.
Yeah, like there was
Well,
literally.
I sort of,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to give it 1 gothic girl out of 10 because I just don't think a 0 is very fair, to be honest.
I think if you're going to make a movie, you need to watch this movie. Just so you know how not to make a movie.
I think it's just like a good thing to show in like film schools.
Yeah. Straight up.
I reckon the thing
If
is,
you can
this
get a
probably is,
copy.
this probably is student made, but I reckon a student could do a better movie.
Do you think they showed this to like a class or whatever? We're just like guessing that it was like a student movie. Maybe it was just like people who wanted to make a movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Or we're just like, there's no way you
don't
make a
know.
movie like this at your own volition. Like you had to have been pressured into making something, and they made this.
Maybe.
Who
Wish I
knows?
could tell you. It's
The director has another movie as well.
don't
Came
know.
out the same year. So try to
Interesting.
check that one out.
Hard worker. Thank you, Sydney Mansa Winters.
it's a cool name, I must say.
It's a cool name, cool movie. I'm glad to own it.
A cool
I'm gonna
tones
get
movie.
it. I feel like I need to get that DVD framed.
Because we'll never watch it
Get
again,
all
but
of
it will
them framed.
preserve
Get all of them
history.
framed. They are a part of history and definitely something that has molded my own personality. I am who I am because of these movies.
It's crazy that it brought us to this podcast that's gone
Yeah.
on for 100 episodes now.
100 episodes and counting. When will we stop? Who knows? Maybe never. Cool. That's that. Thank you for staying with us for Jesus Christ. It's very late.
Do you know what? I should go over there and find out how long this has been on for, but I'm too
Yeah, might be
scared
alright.
to go over there.
Cool. So for the next one, I guess it's been a very long time since we spun a wheel.
Yeah.
Holy
no.
fuck, we get to spin the wheel!
So we're going to spin, as per Sunday Movie Marathon tradition, we're going to spin the wheel that'll tell us what we're going to watch for the next episode.
Yeah, we didn't even get to do a proper wheel last month because we did like the horror movies. So we did like a special wheel.
Yeah, it's been like
now
forever.
we're back to the original one.
We're going back to it.
Wow.
So I better
Does anyone
give us
even remember what's
something
even on it? Relics
We'll
of
see.
time
No,
gone.
it's going to be a surprise for us all, I think.
Oh, listen to that. Oh,
So much anticipation.
I've missed that noise so much. I don't like when he smiles like that, though.
It's an actor special.
Oh,
Juliette Binoche.
Juliette Binoche. Okay,
Binoche,
cool.
yeah.
We're going to do Juliette Binoche movies, I guess. French actress.
I can't think of any off the top of my head. but-
I don't know who she
Highlight.
is.
Yeah, do that again.
Yeah, we'll just do the movies that we've done her in before.
Godzilla.
Yeah. There we go. Certified copy. Cool. Tune in next time for 3 Juliette Binoche movies. Awesome. Check out the description to see what those are. We got social media, YouTube, The Sunday Movie Marathon, Instagram, @Sunday Movie Pod, Twitter, @Sunday Movie Pod, Facebook, @Sunday Movie Marathon, and Letterboxd, @Sunday MM, capital S, capital MM. Remember to like, subscribe, rate the podcast 5 stars. Do it. Been doing this for 100 episodes. Any last words?
Thanks for listening for 100 episodes. Here's to another 100.
Here's to another 100 and even maybe even 101 more. Who knows?
Nah.
Who knows whether future... Okay. Bye.
Hey, Cash.